Reed and Muir all out for tonight's game. They're healthy scratches for the Avalanche. For the Vancouver Canucks, that list is very deadly. It's been picked up by two guys, Scott Lachance and Schaefer, both out with knee injuries. Those are key losses to the Vancouver Canucks. Mark Crawford's club is going to come out, John, early, and they're going to hit. They're going to try and set the tempo. That's how they play. That's how this crowd expects it. So look for a lot of dump-ins and a lot of pressuring the Avalanche defensemen early.
At home this year, they were very good, 21-12, 5-3. The Avalanche won 24 road games, tying a club record. As the Canucks center it, Morrison now for Brashear, picked up by Trent Platt. Trying to walk in front, but Milan Hayduk knocked it away. He was hit. Now Tanguay in on right wing. In the clear, a shot! And Morrison got back, and he tipped it wide of the goal. Jovanovski has no stick. Now in front, Sakic fires it, and that's off a leg. And that loose stick is right in front of the Canuck goal, now lifted high to center by Morrison. And Sakic there for the Avalanche. Now Murray Barrett tipped ahead by the Canucks Brashear. And Wass slings it around the boards for Drury. Now on to Forsberg. Trying to clear it out of the zone. He can't, and a shot by Matt Cook is off target. Here's Drury. Gets the puck to the middle of the ice, and Rob Blake fires it ahead. Drury overskates it. Now Forsberg brushes off the check of Cook, and DeVries walks it in. He's slowed up by Olin. Niemanen grabs the puck. Now Billy Niemanen for the Avalanche, trying to turn, he does. Rebound to Reinprecht. Another shot by Drury is wide of the goal. Oh, what a chance there on the rebound by Drury. As the Avs keep it in. Now it's knocked away as the intensity is at a frenzied pace here. Now DeVries again. Can't get it to Reinprecht. He's hammered by Barahowski. Sean Podine is there. But Brian Allen, who played a couple of games this year with Vancouver, gets it out. Allen's first action of the series. Now Messier.
And Borker's on the ice for the first time paired with Foot.
Here's Podine with Reinprecht and Messier. Henrik Sedin against Reinprecht. He steals it. And Podine has room. Now in front, no one is there. And picked up by Bertuzzi with the Sedin brothers. Here he comes into Daniel Sedin. Fires it wide from 35 feet out. Good chance there. Now in front again, and off the stick of Henrik Sedin from his brother. And the Avalanche clear it down the ice.
If the early flow is any indication, Vancouver is going to be a very aggressive, but also with the defenseman pinching down low. Jovanovski twice has been right down in low. So the wingers for the Avalanche are going to have to be active and smart and watch for that.
And Peter, a couple of times in this game, the Canucks, they want big hits. Sometimes if you go for too many big hits, you sidestep it, chip it by a guy, it can lead to a chance.
And that's where the Avalanche are so brilliant. The Avalanche, you're not going to scare them out of making plays. You may hit them, but you're not going to scare them. And so the chances are going to show for the Avalanche. You've got just too many guys that know exactly what they're doing. The Avalanche right there in front, middle of a line change. So Drury's out with Reinprecht and Podine at the other end. A quick 3-on-2 for the Canucks, and Bertuzzi, Bertuzzi, pardon me, I'm getting too excited, John. Too excited too early here. Bertuzzi, nice play. He has been their best player in the first two games in Colorado.
We are scoreless here now. The Canucks get the puck in there. Jarkko Ruutu, the rookie. Here's a shot by Bertuzzi. And turned away by Patrick Waugh. And lifted out by Heinold. Out there with Parker and Yell. And Parker a big hit at center. Now the Canucks, Pat Cavanaugh in his second ever NHL game. Here is Allen. Brian Allen picked 4th overall in 1998 by Vancouver. As Sakic has some room, they back in. Fires it off the goalpost. Oh, Sakic with a glorious chance. Hit the post.
And the defenseman again for Vancouver did not get up in the play. They sagged back, and Sakic had the shot.
Now Sakic again. He's got some room at center. The Vancouver native across the ice. DeVries right in. And his pass was broken up. Canucks can't clear. Sakic a shot. And that was off target. Adam Foote trying to keep it in there. He does. Sakic wide open. Save! Unbelievable by Essenza. And it goes out of play.
The aggressive play for Vancouver, but it's set up 2 chances for Sakic. Sakic is so good about using that speed to the neutral zone. You see the defensemen, they were all the way back to the dots when Sakic made that shot. But John, there's not a lot you can do. He's coming so fast. If you stand up, he's going to dance around you. But Foot, a great pass to Sakic, and SNZ right there may have kept Vancouver in this game. He can't believe it, because he knows when goal scorers know when they made a shot that should have gone in. And right there, that was a shot that should have gone in, but the goaltender came up with the big save.
And going back to the regular season, Sakic with 10 goals in his last 6 games. Stoned twice by Essenza. Well, Brent Sopel leaves it. No score, nearly 4 minutes gone, first period. As Drury is roughed up by Donald Brashear. Now it comes back to Skula with Blake. He lobs it ahead. Nieminen trying to get there. Now Forsberg keeps it in. Nieminen tracks it down in the slot. Here's Blake on the line. Lets it go, and that hit something and went wide. And then Forsberg took Olin down, and that's called. Delayed penalty. As Brashear scuffs it wide, and we get our first call of the hockey game.
We've talked a lot about the Foot-Bertuzzi matchup, but the Forsberg-Olin matchup has been just as physical. The Forsberg goes off. Look at the keys to tonight's game. Bork is back. Huge for the Avalanche. They get their best defensive defenseman back in the lineup, the best combination defenseman certainly. Stand up at the blue line. That's what Vancouver's got to do. They did not do that on that first rush by Sakic. And finally, the terrible towels. We'll talk about the history of that, but this crowd, they'll have their towels. They're into this hockey game, and there's been a great atmosphere the first 4.5 minutes of this game. Olin, who's a big guy, that was in the Vancouver dressing room today, and he is a very big man, 6'3", 6'2", 225 pounds. So he, is going to make it tough for Peter Forsberg.
And of course, they've played together on national teams, and will play on the Olympic team next year. I asked Olin this morning, is it tough playing against your buddy, your former teammate? He said no.
Yeah.
He said he understands, I understand.
I mean, they certainly have not said, okay, no, Peter, you first. No, Matthias, you first.
You
first, and I'll run your head through.
So the Canucks on the power play, 2 of 6 in the series. 1 of 3 in each of the first 2 games. And Raymond Bourque shoots it down the ice.
This will be the first real test for Bourque and his back. Vancouver's going to want to test it. Mark Crawford has said, hey, it's a great player, but we're going to see how he feels. They're going to dump it in his corner.
Berehowski and Olin, the point man. Avs break it up again. Good diving play by Yell. And it rolls down the ice. Up front, Morrison, Drukin, and Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi, not counting Marcus Naslund, who's out with the broken leg, led the club with 14 power play goals. Here comes Hayduk shorthanded. One man back. That's Olin. A shot. And that was wide. Olin, a good job on Hayduk, who's killed the Canucks this year. 1:05 left in the power play. As Bertuzzi charges after it. Wow. What a play. Saw the open lane and got it out.
But also a nice play by Hayduk to hold Bertuzzi up just enough to let Watt play the puck freely.
Here comes Henrik Sedin, the 20-year-old. In for Allen. Nice job by Blake to chip it back down the ice. And again, the Canucks must go back. 40 seconds left in the power play. Allen gets it. His cross corner dump in. Messier can't clear. Sokol fires it right on, and a save by Waugh. And Sokol kept it in there. Across to Allen. Fires it. Hit a leg. Off Klatt to the corner. Now in front, Henrik Sedin can't stuff it in as Waugh made a couple of saves. And he covers it. Vancouver came very close there.
The Vancouver Canucks, as they have said, without Naslund, without Castles, they're going to have to do exactly what they're doing right here. People in front of Patrick Waugh. In game 1 it worked. They had 2 real good tip-ins. Shots that were going wide, they tipped them home. Last game, they didn't have that same luxury because the Avalanche did what they are doing here. Clearing people out from the front of the net. That's what you have to do. When people are going to stand there, you got to get nasty and you got to just say, you're out of here.
And on that last play, Henrik Sedin, instead of making a pass, tried to stuff it in. Mark Crawford has told his club, the Avs defense, they like to take away the pass on those down low plays. And that's how Morrison scored in game 2, and Henrik Sedin tried to do it there.
Yeah, Morrison walked out of the corner and didn't try and force the pass to Bertuzzi on the far side. It just took Wall on one-on-one and scored a beautiful goal.
18 seconds left in the power play. And Reinprecht wins the face-off. The puck cleared. Up the wall, not out. Olin across. Save, rebound, they score! It was Trent Klatt on the rebound.
As this play develops, the real key to this play is Olin standing up at the blue line, keeping the puck in the zone. It should have been gotten out of the zone by the Avalanche. It didn't, and Jovanovski on net and rebound. The Avalanche have started up the ice a little bit as the puck went in the corner. Olin keeps it in. So on their first power play chance, the Canucks make the Avalanche pay and get that first goal. Now it becomes a different game, John. Had Sakic scored in his chances, 1-0 Avalanche, as a much different game than the one we're looking at right now.
So Trent Klatt, the most experienced Canuck player in terms of playoff games, gets his second goal of the series. 13th playoff goal in his career, and it's 1-0 as the Avalanche ice it.
And for the third time in this series, a power play goal by Vancouver is the first goal of the game and gives them the 1-0 lead. Olin, top part of your screen, top.
On their 5th shot on the power play.
That was a very effective power play. The Canucks have used the energy in this building very well.
So in all 3 games, they have scored the first goal on the power play. Here's Jovanovski. That shot never got by Hayduk. And Watt back to the cage, trying to chip it up the wall. Held in by Harold Drukin. Now for Klatt. Gets away from Foot. Now Klatt again. And Sakic knocked it off his stick. And Bork to the corner for Hayduk. And he goes up the near side. Sakic gets it out. So now the Canucks control it. Jovanovski on for Klatt. In deep it goes. 7 minutes gone in the first. Vancouver up 1-0. Sakic again. He's had 3 great chances already. Nice move at the line. Another move by Sakic. Hayduk, a shot and a save by Essenza. This man is flying tonight.
Uncle Joe is on fire. No getting around it. But John, would take you back to where the tradition of the terrible towels came in is back in 1982. All the way back in Chicago. That's Roger Nielsen holding up the towels in Chicago. The calls the referees were making, he threw the towels on the ice. Actually, at the end of that, got thrown out of the game. By the time they got back to Vancouver, they were into it, and everybody had their towels in Vancouver the year that the Vancouver Canucks made their first appearance in the Stanley Cup Finals against the New York Islanders. Islanders won in 4, but it was a great run and a great time in this town.
And it's been a while since the Canucks have hosted a playoff game. The last time, Game 6 against the Avalanche on April 27th, 1996. The game was won by the Avalanche 3-2 on a late goal by Sakic. Now Berchier for Vancouver. Matt Cook shovels it in. And Watt tees it up for Blake around to Drury. And he tips it on to center, then Drury was drilled down by Owen. Donald Berchier back for Vancouver. Checked by Drury. 4-3. Hops on the puck. Trying to break around Cook, who does a good defensive job of the puck to center. Drury bangs Berchier. Now Peterson is in. And he was knocked down with no call. And Blake takes cover back of his own goal. John Clem trying to clear it out. He does. And again, the Avalanche make a change on the move.
Well, every other matchup seems to be physically okay, but why is Drury is out there challenging Berchier? Drury, he is an incredible young guy. He's not going to let Berchier run at the defenseman.
As the Avalanche play dump and chase, Bodine, he takes a hit. Now the puck loose on the near boards. It's Reinprecht. He's canceled by Henrik Sedin. Messier comes up with it. Has tons of time back there. Can't center. Great job by Jovanovski. And he gets it out of the zone. Shot back in by Foot. And a whistle. It is 1-0 for Vancouver. Did you know? Since moving to Colorado, the Avalanche 7-0 in playoff series when they have a 2-0 lead. Did you know is brought to you by the Colorado Beef Council.
For the Avalanche, they have done a real good job defensively so far in this series, especially in Game 2. The Canucks have yet to have a period where they've had as many as 10 shots. The Avalanche have done a pretty good job defensively, but tonight, Vancouver's come up with some real good early energy.
Here's a shot block. Now high note, he was knocked down to the corner for Yell. Down low for Parker. High note again for the Avalanche. Trying to stuff it in, it comes in front. Canucks can't clear it, Parker is there. Now for a high note. And Yell, I believe, is going to go. He was involved with Essenza. And now Parker comes in. And he wants a piece of Strudwick.
Well, it's going to be Stefan Yell. I mean, this is a good call by the referee. Yell just got a little too close to Essenza and knocked him down. The referees have been doing a very good job, John, in the playoffs at trying to keep that extra traffic away from the goaltenders. Right there. There's no one around Yell as he comes into the crease and knocks the stick into Essenza and knocks him down. So that was going to be called.
It's goalie interference at 9:16. And Vancouver with a 1-0 lead thanks to the early power play goal.
And, you know, just anytime you're up 1-0 in a situation like this, you've got a power play goal to build on. Now it's a very big kill for the Avalanche.
Well, Mark Crawford, we've talked about the Avs 2-0 lead. This marks the first time as an NHL coach that Mark Crawford has been behind 2 games to none.
Of course, his NHL coaching career started Quebec Nordiques, moved along with as a franchise, moved over to Colorado.
The last time Mark Crawford coached team was in a hole by 2 games when the Avalanche were down to Detroit 3-1 in the '97 conference finals. The series eventually won by Detroit in 6. As Waz out of the goal, and he clears it to center. So the Canucks on the power play, 1 for 1 tonight, 3 of 7 in the series. Here comes Jovanovski. Hammered in, Waz gloves it, and puts it high on the glass. Bork is there to clear it off the boards. In the regular season, Vancouver, 13th overall in the power play. That's 17%. And they've been good so far. As Bork knocks it out of midair, and again he dumps it down the ice.
Obviously early, but the first 10 minutes, any indication, Bork looks to be very free and good movement on the ice.
Here come the Canucks. Bertuzzi charges in. Plays one to Morrison. John Clem comes along. Olin kept it in there. It is Blake for the Avalanche. Up the boards it goes. Ryan Krek trying to kick it out of the zone. He can't. Now Drukin back on the line to Olin. It is Drukin. Bertuzzi's in front. A shot by Drukin is wide. No one ever saw it. Both clubs making changes. Berehowski had it knocked away by Blake. Sakic on it for the Avalanche. In with Forsberg. Can't drop it back. Now Forsberg to Sakic. And short-handed. Sakic trying to get free. Forsberg picks it up. Run by Olin. And the Avalanche killing some precious time on this power play. Forsberg won't let up in that corner. Now behind the goal. Finally, Trent Klett gets it back for Vancouver. 15 to go on the power play. Here is Berehowski. Hammers it in. And Waugh lets it go. Messier to the corner now for Bork. And he's got a lot of time after a nifty move. And the Avalanche shoot it down the ice.
Very good job by the Avalanche on that penalty kill.
And no shots on goal during that power play for Vancouver after they got 5 on their first one. And Blake behind the net for DeVries. Hayduk scuffles back behind his own goal. Now the puck grabbed by Matt Cook. He's taken out by DeVries, and Hayduk again for the Avalanche. Here comes Blake. The shot's 8-3 Vancouver, and they lead by 1. As Brashear is held up by Hayduk. Back on the line to Jovanovski. That shot blocked out high by Drury. Now Cook to the corner, Brashear. Back in front, kept in. Jovanovski, a shot, didn't get through, and Messier hammers it off the boards. It's a frenzied pace here in the first period. Avs can't clear it. And now Waugh, sensing the Avalanche in a bit of trouble here, holds it. And then Messier knocked the Canuck player Peterson right over his own goaltender.
That controlled anger, everybody just pushing it right to the edge.
First couple of games, Sakic with 2 power play goals. He's led the Avs with 12 shots, averaging 24 minutes of ice time. Canucks get it. Broken a shot, and that was wide. He didn't get a lot on that one. Tanguay tips it out. Jovanovski there for the Canucks. Shot 7-3 Vancouver. As Hayduk has some room at center. And he'll bank it in behind the Canuck net.
But at 5-on-5, 5 of those shots for Vancouver came in the 1 power play. 5-on-5, the Avalanche have played very well early in this period.
As again, the Avalanche have to go all the way back. Waugh off a leg. Tanguay gets it out of danger, and here comes Forsberg. Surrounded by 3 Canucks. He taps it in. Runs after his buddy Olin. Big hit by Forsberg. Tried to center one. And Sopel blocked it. And it's launched high to center.
And when you watch that play, Olin had a chance to go in first, and he saw Forsberg, and then he just a bit let up. And because Forsberg, he knew was coming at him.
And now Peterson back for Vancouver. And Waugh lets it go. Now he plays it. Matt Cook knocks it down. Peterson back of the goal. The former Devil. He battles against Bork. And Bork kicks it ahead. Foot off the boards. Now for Drury. Can't clear it. Sopel. And that long shot. Tipped high to the corner. And Foot spins Cook away from the puck. And Willie Niemann it. Off the boards it goes to the Canuck line. Here's Barron right back in. Cross corner dump it. Todd Bertuzzi kicks one down low, and Reinpracht is there for the Avalanche. Meanwhile, Bertuzzi and DeVries battle away from the puck. As the Avs get it out of the defensive zone. Now Henrik Sedin, the rookie. Back in his own zone for Brian Allen. He goes hard around the boards to center. Bertuzzi hit again by Greg DeVries. Now Messier. And we get a whistle, and I think both Bertuzzi and DeVries could go. That's one thing about DeVries. He can handle the big boys.
The Avalanche have a very big...
To DeVries and Bertuzzi at 14-14. So 4-on-4 with the Canucks ahead. 1-0. Sakic. Up front with Hayduk. Sakic walks it in there on his off wing. Now back on the line for Blake. A shot. And that was up high. Now School in the corner for Hayduk. Trying to make a move. Sakic busting toward the goal. Hayduk never got it there. Now for Sakic again. Against Barron. Here's Hayduk. Barron trying to clear it. Sakic in front of Blake. Fires it out. That's a big save on Blake. And the Canucks to center ice. Morrison for Ruutu. The rookie out of Finland. That shot blocked at the defense by Skola. Hayduk now for Forsberg.
And Blake's stick broke as he went to take that shot. I'm not sure if it was broken from the last shot, but he went to the bench. He snapped off the blade.
As Drury is checked as he walked into the zone, and Forsberg back for the Avalanche. 55 to go in the matching minors. To Bertuzzi and DeVries. Here's Drury on for Bork. Had trouble with the bouncing puck back 2 foot. His pass intended for Forsberg. He gets it from Daniel Sedin. Now Henrik Sedin picks it up into the zone. A shot there by Olin, and he whiffed on that one as it went wide. And they battle down low. Drury lost it. Here's Olin on the line. His pass to the corner. Drury, good defensive work, and he gets it back. On for Forsberg. Off his stick, down the ice it goes. 4 minutes left, first period. Vancouver on top, 1-0. And the power play goal by Klatt. Big hit by Blake on the rookie Kavanaugh. Welcome to the NHL. As Blake just got the body into Kavanaugh. And Clem feeds it on to center. Now Jovanovski to Drukin. Avs break it up. Tanguay trying to find it. He bumps Murray Barron with the puck taken by Drukin. The Club's back to full strength. Here's Barron. Up the middle, down the ice she goes, and as Skula heads back, icing called on Vancouver.
Oh, John, what a pair of hits by Rob Blake. I mean, the first one, the guy had his head down. That was a guy that just hasn't seen somebody like Blake before. Kavanaugh, first ever NHL games, coming down the ice. Where are you coming from? How do you get there so quick? And that, now Blake continues on all the way through, and he punished Drukin in the corner.
Well, Blake in the first 2 games, 8 hits, 7 shots, averaging close to 30 minutes, and of course had the 4-point game in game 1.
And that's the big thing about the Avalanche, that they have really restructured as you look at this defensive core. With Blake and Bourque now in the lineup, the Avalanche 6'1", 6'2", but almost 220 pounds to a man, the average.
Off the face-off, it gets by DeVries, who chips it back for Skula. Up front, Messier, Podine, and Yell. Here's a pass by DeVries, cut off by Drukin. Back for Skula. And the second-year man out of Czech Republic for Podine out of midair. And it goes down the ice, and icing called on the Avalanche.
John, we talked about it. We should talk about it again and again, what Messier brings to the Avalanche club. He led the team in hits the first 2 games, 11 hits, more than anybody else for the Avalanche. And he is so strong. His confidence over the course of the last couple of years, he knows he's a forward now for the Avalanche. He knows he's going to be up front, and he is becoming such a force. He gets in there quickly, and he is one of the guys the defensemen have to keep their head up for, because he will hit you and he will punish you.
It is Sakic on the face-off against Morrison. Morrison has taken most of the face-offs for Vancouver. About 44% of all draws taken by Morrison. Bourque from center! And Essenza off balance, got his pad out. Foot on the right point, held it in. Lets it go, rebound. They score! Sakic! Super Joe has tied the game at 1. What a big goal with 2:42 to go in the first period.
Almost identical to the first goal. The puck doesn't get out of the zone. They keep it in, and suddenly foot right in front, and a rebound goal for Joe Sakic. And Sakic, who has just been the best player on the ice tonight, either club, picks up the goal. But you see the puck come around. Bourque shot. A little bit of a scramble for the Canucks. So they have the puck here. They go to get it on the boards. They don't get it out. And now exactly the same thing happens. But everybody moved forward. There were 2 Avalanche players in behind. Essenza, no chance.
Sakic's 3rd of the series from foot. That's 17-18. It is 1-1. So Joe Sakic in playoff game number 3 has already surpassed his goal total from a year ago, when he had 2 goals and 9 points in 17 playoff games. But Peter, the way he's played all year long, from game 1 to right now, somebody, if you're going to beat the Avalanche, you better stop Sakic. He's just so...
You got to find a way, John, exactly, because he is... The tough part is for defensemen. When you start looking at how goals are scored by Sakic, this is not a typical Joe Sakic goal rebound. But where he scores his goals is with speed coming through the neutral zone. And the Avalanche defense are such a good first pass defense. Now you hit Sakic on the fly with a good first pass. If somebody isn't playing perfect defensive hockey, the defensemen are in a hole. Because now he's coming at you a million miles an hour. He's got the rocket. He can beat you to the outside. So which do you play? So you end up backing up too far. And then all of a sudden, bang. That shot on goal. Clem's in the box.
Yes, along with a Canuck player, Matt Cook. So again, 4-on-4. On that goal, Sakic from foot and Hayduk at 17-18. Now Jovanovski lets it go! Just wide, as Waugh may have gotten a piece of it. It is 1-1. 2:10 to go in the opening period. Blake working down low, now picked up by Hayduk. He gets it out of trouble for Skula. Up front, Sakic and Hayduk. Here comes Super Joe. Chased back to center by Barron. He'll try again. Now onto the ice is Tanguay. As the fans yell for too many men, but Hayduk was going off when Tanguay jumped on.
But the referee did point a finger at the bench. Just a little bit of a warning.
Here comes Forsberg. And Essenza got his glove up on that tip shot from Peter Forsberg.
Look at the mask of Essenza. His last game was dented by the shot of Blake. But he has really played well in the second game. Just the 2 goals in 42 seconds. And then tonight on the rebound, they really can't be faulted for any of the goals, except maybe the first one he was even questioning himself a little bit on that one.
But on the goal tonight, Peter, that's one of the reasons Crawford went from Kluche to Essenza, because he has better rebound control. But he didn't have good rebound control on the foot shot.
But there shouldn't be 2 guys alone in front of the goaltender either. So it's a little combination for the Canucks.
4-on-4 high sticky minors to Clement Cook. Avs get it back to Bourque. Now on for Foot. And that shot was blocked out high. Drury handles it in the corner. Forsberg picks it up. Forsberg wheels to the line. Now in front for Drury, and he can't get open. And Sokol run hard by Forsberg. Oh, what a hit there. You talk about Sakic and his intensity. Forsberg, Peter's been on his game as well. And Peter has it at center for Drury. Trying to hit Forsberg. And he smashes Olin to the ice. That's the second time he's hit his buddy Olin. Now DeVries with it. Lets it go. And a save by Essenza. And the Canucks come up with it.
And the man in front of the net was Blake. I mean, the Avalanche, led by Blake, the defenseman, would be aggressive.
Here comes Sakic. Fires it. Oh, Essenza just got his glove on that. On another howitzer. And the puck rolls to center, 35 to go in the period. What a period this has been. It's 1-1. Sakic finds DeVries open. Works on Jovanovski, and the shot tipped. Now Tanguay to the corner. In front, Sakic gets it. Fires it. Sakic again, a shot off the goalpost. Oh, Sakic nearly gave the Avs the lead. Jovanovski trying to clear it. And he gets it off the boards to center to Cook. On for Bertuzzi. In deep it goes. 5 seconds left in the period. And that's going to do it. What a playoff period here in Vancouver. That GM plays it.
Game tough that first period. I'm telling you, it has been a wonderful first period here tonight.
Playoff hockey at its best. But at one point, the shots were 7-3 Vancouver, ended up 11-7 Avalanche. So they had the last 8 shots in the period. It is Sakic, Hayduk, and Tanguay against Klatt, Druken, and Morrison. And away we go with the second period. Teams are at full strength. Here comes Harold Druken. Trying to cut around Skula in front. Quick shot by Klatt. And it was blocked by Blake. Now Morrison down low to Klatt. Fires it off the back of the goal. And Hayduk around the boards. Barron is there. And he can't hold it in. The Avalanche chip it on to center for Skula. In with Tanguay to Tanguay, and lets it go. And Essenza makes the save. And he holds it for a face-off.
John, we're sort of getting a look at it for the Avalanche. The forward lines have been pretty much set now for the Avalanche. Tanguay, Sakic, Hayduk. You've got Forsberg, Drury, and Nemanja. But the defensive pairs have had a period to sort of sort themselves out. It looks like Skula is going to be out there with Blake. Foot and Bourque have been out there almost every shift. Saw one shift where Bourque and Blake were out there together for a shift. But I think for Bob Hartley, this, at least early, this is how he's going to set up his pairings.
I think we also saw a shift of DeVries in Rob Blake.
Yep.
So a lot of different combinations. Blake led all Avalanche players in ice time with 9 minutes 30 seconds. And Matt Cook gets it off the glass to center in a 1-1 game. Sopel for Oland. Now Forsberg rejects that. Sopel again trying to dump it in. Foot knocked it down. And Donald Brashear, number 8 for Vancouver. Gets the puck down low. Forsberg out of the corner for Drury. Center ice to Ville Nieminen. And a big goal in game 2 to tie the score at 1. And the puck shot around the boards and back into Avalanche territory. And as John Clem touches up, we get the whistle. Let's check tonight's scouting report. Brought to you by Pizza Hut. Todd Bertuzzi, the 26-year-old. He's a big man, former first-round pick of the Islanders. And he is as tough a power forward as there is in the game.
You learn a lot talking to the players after the game. You know, we try to figure out what's going on. The players will tell you what actually went on. And they're talking, the defensemen especially, talking about Bertuzzi. So you know that he's made an impact. He's big, he's strong, and he shields the puck well. It's not easy to get through him. He doesn't give you the puck to take it away. He holds it off. You got to come through his big body.
He had a career-high 25 goals and 55 points this year, did Todd Bertuzzi. And in the last regular season game against Edmonton last Saturday, he ran Dominic Roussel and put Roussel out of the game. And the Oilers wanted a suspension. Here's a drive by Blake, or rather Bork, and that's off a leg to the near corner, cleared ahead. Now Bertuzzi gets it. And Bork, a good play to get back. And he intercepted that feed in front. Now Bertuzzi again. Whips one to the corner for Henrik Sedin. To brother Daniel. He's run off the puck by Bork. Has tried to clear it. Henrik Sedin in front. On the goal line, they score! I think Daniel knocked it in, and it's 2-1 Vancouver.
Well, we have had 3 goals, almost identical in the sense the puck is at the point. It looks like the puck is going to be moved out of the zone. It isn't. It stays in, and suddenly there's a rebound. Good job here by the Sedins. They hustle down low, but again, the Avalanche right here go to get it out of the zone, and they don't. And suddenly you watch in up around Patrick Waugh. Bertuzzi gets there first. Waugh has it, but Sedin punches it home before the referee blows the whistle.
Young Daniel jammed it in. He had 20 goals in the regular season. Second most among all rookies. Gets his first ever playoff goal. And appropriately from his twin brother, Henrik.
And John, I have been very, very impressed with these 2 Sedin brothers. You know, during the 5 games during the regular season, you know, against the Avalanche, they didn't do that much. They didn't hurt the Canucks, certainly, but they didn't do that much. But in these playoffs, they have played very well. But John, what we're watching here right now, now Blake's coming over. He just talked with Patrick Waugh. Patrick Waugh was upset with something, but Blake was talking to Bertuzzi right at the Vancouver Canuck players bench. And Bertuzzi was in the players box. So some bad blood between those 2 guys is starting to set itself up.
Well, maybe Waugh wanted the play reviewed. He felt he covered it, but it wasn't. And it was jammed in by Daniel Sedin from Henrik and Bertuzzi. So the Canucks go back on top. The goal at 1:37. High note for the Avalanche. Leaves it for Parker. Now Blake to the corner. He is run by Daniel Sedin. And it's taken by number 5, Brian Allen, who was called up from the minors. Canucks get it deep. And Waugh backhands it behind the net. Here's Daniel Sedin for brother Henrik Sedin. Bertuzzi in front, a shot by Daniel, and a good save by Waugh with his shoulder. And Clem wants launches it down the ice. This will be an icing call on the Avalanche. And Parker and Barron having words.
John, it's been the little things that have caused the goals in tonight's game. And one of those little things, not getting the puck out as it gets right to the blue line. Now, the play right there, the Avalanche have it. They don't quite get it out of the zone, and suddenly somebody's in front of that. You saw a wall right there. He had it, but it was pushed clearly before he had had time to cover it up. Didn't go far over the line, but certainly it doesn't matter. Just enough over that line. But Patrick was still upset talking to Magoo.
As Daniel said, I mentioned he had 20 goals. He got a $300,000 bonus for goal number 20. That was a big one. And a huge one here to make it 2-1. It is Sakic back out for the Avalanche.
Looks like we're one little incident away from something really erupting here. Because Barron and Foote are now talking.
Tanguay on the faceoff, gets it from Morrison. Now Klatt comes in, turns, lets it go, and Waugh got the glove up. And he's mad because the Canuck player slashed him. The Avalanche have not had a power play chance tonight.
And they were moaning and groaning about that coming out of Colorado. The fact that in both games the power plays favored the Avalanche 5-3. In the first game, the Avalanche scored 3 times on the power play. They did a nice job in game 2. Vancouver did of killing off all 5. But John, the way they play, they're going to take penalties. There's just no way around it when you play the aggressive style that they play.
As Tanguay whacks it off the boards. Then Jovanovski heading back, and again an icing call. In the first game, Vancouver had a pretty good edge in hits, 49-36, but in game 2, the hits were 37-35 for Vancouver, so a lot more even. And in the first period of this game, the Avalanche out-hit the Canucks by 4.
Waugh continuing to talk with Magoo.
Here, he must be mad about the goal. He must have felt that he had it covered.
Because we've seen Patrick this year be very good about those sort of situations, not going after the referee, whatever. So if he's mad and he feels he has a real good case.
Although covering the puck up is not a reviewable situation. Forsberg gets it to Drury. Forsberg taken down by Brashear. He gets up. Now Drury with the puck. And he jams it in from center. Forsberg trying to get there. And he never got to the puck. And Olin back to center. Brashear whips it in. And Skula touches, an icing called on Vancouver.
For the Avalanche, 11 times they have started at home in a series. 3 times they have started on the road. And that's one of the reasons why they have such a dominant home ice, or such a dominant mark in games 1 and 2. Because usually games 3 and 4 have been in the other team's building. And it's the old story. You take care of stuff at home, come back with a split in the road, and then you take care of things in game 5. So, for the Avalanche, they want one of these 2 games. They love them both, obviously, but they want one of these 2 games, come back game 5, hopefully to wrap it up on Saturday. But the key game, I think, for Vancouver is tonight. They don't win tonight, she's done.
Well, last year in the first round, the Avalanche won the first 3 games against Phoenix, lost game 4, and then won game 5 2-1. Here's Barron for Vancouver, across to Jovanovski. And it goes high down the ice. Wide of Waugh to Breeze, and who gets there first? It was Morrison, no icing. Now Trent Klatt for the Canucks. Tanguay works him over, DeVries ahead. Sakic trying to clear it out, and he does. Nearly 4 minutes gone, second period. Vancouver up by 1. Intercepted at center by DeVries. Into the zone he comes. And Essenza with a glove save, but he dropped it right in front. Now Clark puts that one wide. And the first guy back is Bork. He goes to the near side for Foot up the middle. Ryan Kreck now to Messier. And the puck loose. Codine slashes at Henrik Sedin, and the puck back in the Av zone. And Waugh backhands it. Look out here. Waugh nearly got caught. As the puck came in front, but it's fired down the ice. Brian Allen, number 5, to Berehowski. And high out of the zone. And John Clown. You can probably hear the fans yelling, Patrick, Patrick. Trying to go on the Avalanche goaltender, but when you have played in 199 career playoff games like Waugh, you're impervious to that kind of stuff as they get the sticks up again, Peter. As you said, this thing is on the verge of breaking out. Parker and Berehowski.
And right now there's only one penalty, and that's to Bertuzzi. I'll tell you, that is, you know, there's so much going on, but that is the way to settle things down, John. Lots of little scrums going on, a lot of little pushing, a little shoving. Oh, no, he's going to throw them both in. The Avalanche grabbed the light one. When it first happened, it was just going to be...
No, they gave him a puck, Peter, from the
Okay,
Avalanche.
good.
That's why the box was open to the Avalanche door.
Much of a homer? Good, good.
So the Avs will get a power play. And good job by Parker to hold his cool.
Yeah. Berehowski is not the guy that Parker, if something's going to break out, is not the guy that he's going to worry about. It's going to be for sure. I mean, there's certain lines that are just drawn in the sand.
And a roughing minor to Bertuzzi at 4:50. So the Avalanche get their first power play tonight. 3 for 5 in game 1, 0 for 5 in game 2. And of course the Avs in the regular season, the third best power play at 22%. The Canucks not good at all, killing penalties. 25th in the league, just over 80%. So a chance here for the Avs to tie the game.
Yes, Vancouver scored on a power play. The Avalanche need to match it.
A shot by Bork, got through, and Essenza made the save. No problem there. As they push Hayduk out of the goal crease area, he's up front with Sakic, Forsberg, and Bork and Blake on the points. Sakic had 2 power play goals in game 1. The other was scored by Blake.
Ray Bork, his big numbers. He's 4th all-time in assists in the history of the NHL.
And his shot blocked and cleared down the ice by Murray Barron. Avalanche down 2-1 on a power play. And Bork takes cover back of his own goal. On for Forsberg. Lost the handle. And Bork was hit. Forsberg now in for Sakic. Left it to Blake. A drive and a save by Essenza. Sakic to the corner. Now Super Joe back on the line to Blake, across for Bork. In front to Sakic, wide open. Save, rebound. Sakic put it high. Got his own rebound. Now Blake again to Bork. Near side to Sakic. In front again. Hayduk with it for the Avalanche. Spins in the circle. Down low to Forsberg. Out high to Bork. Across to Blake. Fires it right on goal. And a save by Essenza. And a penalty has been called.
Hayduk got involved with the goaltender again. This time they call it. Milan Hayduk goes off and takes away the last part of the power play. Last 56 seconds for the Avalanche. Had a good power play going. They moved the puck well. Set it up. Essenza, a good solid save. And Sakic in front. John, the first one was a nice save. He was coming across right there. Sakic, as he came through, realized he had time and put a little extra something on it. And now here's the shot, and there's Hayduk. Runs into the goaltender, and the Avalanche will play 4-on-4 for 56 before power play for the Vancouver Canucks.
Peter, we talked to Bob Hartley when the Avalanche acquired Blake, and he knew with Blake and Bourque on the points, you had to cover both, not just one, and take it away. What that leaves open is the slot, and on that last power play, they found Sakic cutting to the middle.
And again, the passing of this group is so important. You know, they haven't had time to work on it because they haven't been together for 1 minute and 21 seconds. And you need game conditions. You can practice till you're purple in practice, but game conditions will open things up for the Avalanche.
So Hayduk takes an elbow in minor. That's 6:54. It's 4-on-4. Now Daniel Sedin for Vancouver. The Avalanche had 4 shots on that power play. Daniel Sedin, who has given Vancouver a lead, for brother Henrik. Now Waugh whips it ahead. Drury off the boards, and here comes Skula with Tanguay. Martin Skula stops to make a play, and it's knocked away by Sopel. He's got a break with Trokin. Sopel fires it right on. Rebounded Henrik Sedin, and a block by Skula.
John, he got a block because he didn't get anything on it. If he had the net open, he just missed the shot.
Now the Canucks Trokin in front. Big save by Lon Morrison. At the edge of the goal. Canucks pressuring here, now in a power play. Sopel a shot, and that is tipped wide, and Drury trying to clear it, kept in by Bertuzzi. He lets it go. Hits something, it went wide, and a penalty called. As Foote and Morrison get involved, and I'm not sure why they blew the whistle.
He's pointing to the face-off dot. I don't think it's going to be a penalty.
That's my point. Why did he blow the whistle?
Must have lost sight of the puck, John. Now here the Avalanche, again, guilty, John, of the little things at the blue line. You didn't get it in. There's no reason to not get the puck deep in that situation. You're the defenseman coming up the ice. It's a 4-on-4 situation. You're going to be in trouble. But fortunately, the Avalanche get back and recover. Patrick Waugh, before that, made a couple of nice saves. The same save again is the Canucks. Everybody has complimented them, and they should. They have fought, scratched, and clawed to keep themselves in this series. Have we had a 2-goal lead either way, John, so far? No, we haven't. So far in this series, there has no team has had a 2-goal lead.
Off the face-off, Bourque gets it, not cleared again. Jovanovski to Oland. Doesn't pull the trigger. 39 to go on the power play. Oland to the corner. Blake knocked it down. He's run down by Bertuzzi. And a whistle. You're right, Peter. In game 1, the Avalanche fell behind early and then went ahead 3 times by 1 goal. Every time Vancouver came back to tie the game before Drury won it with 67 seconds left.
And last game, of course, 1 goal by Vancouver, and then the Avalanche got 2 in the 3rd. Blake got knocked down by Bertuzzi there. Was a little slow, John, getting up. Here's a play in behind the net. Now, Blake will get knocked down right here. And Bertuzzi stayed on top of him. Blake looked up. Next number checking time.
32 to go in the power play. As Drury fights on the faceoff, gets it for Blake, and he gets it high on the glass and down the ice. Shots this period 8-8. And the Canucks have the only goal in the second to lead 2-1. This should be an icing call, and it is, as Rob Blake gets back quickly. In the Olympics, it was Rob Blake paired with Raymond Bourque, And Foot played with Pronger, so that's a pretty good quartet of defensemen. And if Bourque plays next year, they all might be back.
And again, it's just interesting to see how Jacques Cloutier and Bob Hartley are, working the ice time. Now it's Foot and Clem. Bourque and Blake out to kill the first part. Now they're coming back with Foot and Clem to kill the second half of this power play. That was the only problem with not getting some time with these three guys together, and all six of these defensemen together. Get a feel for it. But the coaching staff, they've talked it over 100 times how they're going to work everything out.
12 to go in the power play. Forsberg and Sakic up front for the Avalanche. Now Sopel has played very well for Vancouver. Over 21 minutes in game 2 for the youngster. And Law puts it up the near side. Hayduk is back. Canucks get it in deep. Brashear centers it in. Forsberg tipped it away. Now ahead for Forsberg with Sakic. Oh, Forsberg lost the handle, and the Avalanche would have had a break. And Brashear comes back. Now Matt Cook, and he's offside. Offside at the Avalanche line, and trouble again. And Brashear is in there for Vancouver. And the helmetless Adam Foote for the Avalanche as the war continues here in Vancouver.
The Roman aqueducts have stood here since 145 BC, able to endure centuries because of an engineering marvel, the arch. A curved structure so incredibly strong that even when great pressure is applied to it, it holds its shape. A design with such strength and integrity that to this day, modern man has yet to improve upon it.
It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
UPN introduces Heart and Souls Tuesday. First, on Chains of Love, 5 single people will be chained together for 4 days.
Kind of sexy, actually.
Real people.
What did I get myself into?
Real romance.
I care about you. I do.
Real choices.
There's relationships boxing.
Chains of Love. Then, at All Souls Hospital, evil has taken residence.
Dead have power here.
All Souls after Chains of Love.
Premiering Tuesday night starting at 6:30 on UPN 20.
Well, time to check tonight's Geico Direct moment. Mark Crawford on Bourque's return. He's a world-class player, but it could be to our advantage because he hasn't played yet in an intense series that is of physical nature. We're going to make it tough for him.
But that's one of the reasons why the Avalanche waited until Game 3. They could have forced him into Game 2, but they didn't. They wanted to make sure he's 100% because it was one of those injuries that had it gone, you could have got to 95%, but it could have been a real setback in a hurry. So he's 100% for tonight's game, and he's played like it. Well, the referees are starting to get a little upset with how this game is going.
Yeah, you could begin to see a lot of matching minors here. You're gone, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly. The referees have stepped in a couple of times. There's a bit of gamemanship as far as getting into the face-offs, who's on the ice, who's not.
Canucks with a 2-1 lead. Goals from Klatt and Daniel Sedin. Sakic has scored for the Avalanche. Now Hayduk at center ice. Nice move to the line. A curl and drag beats Sopel. Centers it. They score! Drury and a great play. And the Avalanche have tied the game at 2. What a play by first Hayduk and then Drury.
But John, mainly Hayduk. Mainly Hayduk, because what he does when he goes in behind the net, he throws it out short side. And when he does that, Asenza follows him with his head and has no idea that Drury is open. Watch as he goes in behind the net. Watch the goaltender's head. Watch the goalie's head. He's looking the wrong way. He never saw the pass. 2 guys get caught watching Hayduk go in behind the net. And there's three guys from Vancouver almost in behind the goal line following Hayduk. What a move.
The old curl and drag that worked so well in Game 2. Peter, I asked Hayduk about that curl and drag move. When did you learn it? He said, over here in the Czech Republic, you just can't use it because the defensemen, they don't bite for it. They don't go down as much. It's working pretty well in the NHL.
And you could see that Bob Hartley got Sakic, Forsberg, and Nieminen out on this line. He was looking for a little offense. Well, he got it from the other line.
Drury gets the goal from Milan Hayduk at 8:37. It is 2-2. Now Forsberg. He'll wrist one behind the goal. Essens nearly lost it to Nieminen. Druken trying to clear it. And Blake pinches in now. Forsberg back on the goal. Runs Sopel. But Sopel does a good job to keep his composure. And Bertuzzi fires it down the ice. And what a play. Now guns it ahead for Nieminen. And snared by Reinprecht. Steve Reinprecht to DeVries up on the play. Now into Messier. Fires it on. Essens just got his stick on that. And it goes out of play.
What a play by Greg DeVries. What a read by DeVries. He was at the left side of the net. Waugh throws the puck around the glass, around the boards, and it's chipped out. This is a simple little 2-on-2 that DeVries turns into a solid scoring chance by jumping up in the play. I mean, that is just great offensive instincts by DeVries. Nice pass, but the idea that he jumped into the play, he looked, analyzed, and said, nobody's covering me. It's a safe enough play. Let's jump up and join the offense.
And then Messier, looking for his first ever playoff goal, had that far corner pick.
I was going to say, he did not miss by much. It looked like Essens had come too far to his right on the play.
Again, the goal that tied the game, Drury from Hayduk. Drury's third of the playoffs at 8:37. It is 2-2.
And for Milan Hayduk, who some people say, well, he started off a little slow. Now it's 4 points in 3 games in this series.
As the Canucks are offside here, delayed offside. And they clear the zone, but don't get it in. And again, it's Messier. Here's Berehowski, far side. Blake is there to wrap it down the other wall and into the Canucks zone. So Bob Hartley switching lines here. He had the Sakic-Forsberg combination together. And then out came Drury and Hayduk, and they scored.
And the key to this line is he's got the Nieminen staying with Sakic and Forsberg. And Tanguay out there, Hayduk and Drury. Hayduk usually stays with Sakic and Forsberg on that first line.
This is Berehowski. What a save. Big rebound gobbled up by Hayduk. And he whips it off the boards and down the ice. And Murray Barron's circling. Now for Dennis Peterson. Long shot, wide by a foot. And Nieminen picks it up. And it is held by the Canuck player, and we'll get a face-off to the right of Waugh.
Have another look at the goal that's tied this game up. Hayduk, magnificent move, pulled 3 guys and the goalie.
Having Mark Stout, I'm John Kelly back at GM Place in Vancouver. Game 3, the Avs lead the series 2-0, and this game is tied 2-2. 9 minutes left in the second period. The puck shoveled ahead by Clem. Forsberg to Sakic, 2-on-1. Sakic walks in, hit the goal post, and Essens made the save with the rebound. That's the third post Sakic has hit, and Klein is back. Rips that one wide. Waugh will take no chances and hold on. He's got a goal tonight, and he's now hit 3 goal posts.
And, you know, sometimes you'll hit the post, the goalie would have made the save. On all 3 of the shots, he had a sense of beat, and it just couldn't find its way in. This one hits sort of the outside of the post. What a nice pass by Forsberg. Now he's got Nieminen on the right side. You see, he was leaning to his left, and that puck went to his right. Another great shot by Sakic.
And then he gets his own rebound, and Essens of Peter. Well, I'm not sure that would have gone in, but he made a pretty good recovery.
They handcuffed him a little bit. He didn't get real good wood on the rebound.
So it remains tied at 2. What a start to these playoffs for Joe Sakic. And foot behind his net. Up the far boards, and this will be an icing call against the Avalanche. And now Podine and Verehowski do some pushing and shoving. Well, don't forget, mark your calendars, the Slap and Slam Sports Jam is scheduled for August 11th and 12th at Pepsi Center. The event features the Nuggets 3-on-3 tournament, the NHL Breakout Inline Hockey Tournament, plus other great events. For more information, call 720-931-1580.
There's a man right there for the Avalanche that Vancouver Canucks are going to have to figure out a way to stop him, or he's going to, at some point, take over this game. There's just too much going on for him right now, for him to not get something going unless Vancouver puts the clamps on him.
Well, in a way, he's already taken over this game. What a threat every time on the ice. Avs get the face-off. Bourque. And around it goes. Messier trying to clear it. He can't. And foot is over now. Reinfeldt. He didn't play much in game one with the flu. Gets it ahead. And Podine shovels one to center.
Ray Bourque just had that back tested. Bertuzzi hit him. He hit Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi came back and got him. He must be 100%.
Here's Watt of the corner. Henrik Sedin, he was bought. Now Bertuzzi for Daniel Sedin. To twin brother Henrik. Bertuzzi again. Tough to push him off the puck. Now down low to Henrik. Back of the goal. Henrik Sedin again. He'll leave it in the corner for Daniel off the boards. In front, and Bourque blocked it. Avs running around a bit here. Messier to Reinfeldt. Can't clear it. Barron fires it right on. Rebound is there, and it's cleared away by the Avalanche, who again were a bit sloppy to clear the puck.
One of the first times it's caused them some scoring chances against them. Vancouver capitalized on that one, where a couple of times they haven't.
Now Jovanovski back on the line. Long shot, sails wide. Brashear in front to Peterson, and he can't tip it in. Matt Cook with the puck. Now for Peterson. 7 to go in the second period. To Jovanovski. That shot wide by a mile. And it's Drury who has tied this game. Angles it off the boards to center. Jovanovski right back in. To Matt Cook. Into the corner, Brashear. Centering feed, and it's intercepted in the Avalanche to center. Messier diving, finally gets it down the ice.
But finally get a change, too, for the defenseman. Bourque had to get off the ice. That's what led to a little bit of a chance for Vancouver. Foot, finally. I bet you he was out there a minute and 45 on that last shift.
Now Blake for Sakic. Trying to wheel out of the zone, overskates it. Followed up by Blake, ahead to Tanguay. In for Sakic. So Hartley coming back with the usual line. Sakic, Tanguay, and Haydu. Blake on the point, a drive, and a save by Essenza. On a shot that got through.
And it dipped. That puck was rolling when it was hit by Blake, and it dipped down.
Now Sakic in the slot, leaves it for Tanguay. His pass to DeBrys in front, and Essenza was there to hold the near post. And no further action.
Every time, just a little bit of a lull, it just picks up to a higher pace again. Ray Bourque, Mark Crawford promised that they were going to make it tough on Bourque. Bourque has taken some hits. These are the ones that will show you how that back is, pardon me. Now here comes Bourque. Bourque on the cross, and he takes Bertuzzi in. And that puck just, you see it just dropped. It went out to Blake, and it was rolling. And suddenly, Blake got good wood on it, and it just, like a knuckleball, just dipped about a foot.
Blake's old club, the Kings, finally got off to snide and won a playoff game, their first since '93, beating Detroit last night. They had lost 14 in a row at the LA Kings. Here it is 2-2. Peter Forsberg. Nice pass into Nieminen. Forsberg to the net. Pulled down. Penalty called on Vancouver. As now Heinold is roughed up, but he'd be wise to skate away because Sopel, I think, is going to the box.
Yep, Forsberg beat him to the front of the net. But credit Nieminen with a good play. He held on to the puck, just about got it through to Forsberg, who hustled to the front.
From the man who gave us the biggest touring spectacle of the last 4 years, Michael Flatley is back. Feet of Play. Starring Michael Flatley. Now the saga continues. An all-new Ford design, so you see every step. Michael Flatley in his all-new Dance Spectacular. Feet of Flame. July 25th at the Pepsi Center. Get your tickets now at the box office, Ticketmaster locations, charged by phone or online. Feel the fire.
Cross country.
You will watch my movie madness.
One step beyond.
When I snap my fingers, you will wake up and watch my movie madness all month long on UPN 20.
Well, Sokolov for hooking at 14-16. The Avalanche on their second power play in a 2-2 game. Avs are 0 for 1 tonight and 3 of 11 in the series. Here comes Peterson for Vancouver. Canucks scored a dozen short-handed goals this year, and Peterson tested wall from center. And Bork gets it. Up front, Hayduk, Forsberg, and Sakic. Nice pass into Sakic, but that was just offside.
Well, Patrick Roy, no goaltender, has played more games than Patrick Roy during the playoffs. This is 199. John, tonight, next game he plays will be the first goaltender ever to play 200 playoff games. Patrick, you know, watched him work today. Man, did he work a lot. He worked on one thing in particular, little passes coming up from behind the net for one-timers. Worked for about 15 minutes on those. And back in game 1, Jovanovski scored a goal that he wasn't happy with his positioning. Working on those little things today.
Avalanche on the power play. They have never led in this game. Here's foot back for Blake. Up front, Neiman and Tanguay and Drury. And the hard around near boards. Tanguay was there. Olin pressured by Neiman. Avs force a turnover in front. Drury. What a play by Drury. Now across the foot. Fires it off a skate. Now Tanguay gets it. For Drury. Back for Tanguay on this power play. Cycles one to Drury. Tanguay, one of the one-timer. Here's Drury in the circle. And the shot blocked and cleared down the ice. 55 to go in the power play. Tanguay in for Drury off his stick. And the Canucks clear it high and over the glass.
Well, the Avs get a bit of a break there. Jovanovski had the puck on his stick. He hits the glass. It's out of the zone. Now the Avalanche get to sort of settle things down, get the #1 unit back on the ice with a face-off in the Canucks zone. Watch the penalty killing, which has been very good for the Canucks the last couple of games after really letting him down in game 1. But John, this is what happens during the playoffs. In yesterday's 3 games, the power plays in the league went 1 for 28, 96.5% killing ratio by the penalty killers. They start to break things down, analyze, and it becomes just harder and harder to get these power play goals.
See that little subtle play by Neiman in there, knocking the stick out of Olin behind the play?
Yep.
Got away with it, but he could have been called.
But isn't it amazing that all the little things we talk about during the playoffs, you talk about during the regular season, but they just crystallize during these playoffs. Huge draw right here.
Won by Vancouver's Morrison, and hammered down the ice by Barron.
And so now, what happened to Jovanovski not getting it out doesn't matter. It's forgotten. But, you know, these plays become huge in this game.
Well, Blake carries the mail to center. In for Forsberg. Now to slide it across to Hayduk. Now he gets it in there. Off a leg of Sakic out of the zone. And the Canucks break away. Here comes Kavanaugh, the rookie in his second game, and he tried to break in. And a pass by Blake is chipped away, and 14 seconds left in the Avs power play.
Excellent job on this particular penalty kill from Mark Crawford's club. Remember, two of their top penalty killers, Peter Schaefer and LeChance, out of the lineup tonight for the Vancouver Canucks. When you look back at from 96, after 96, the playoff series they had against the Vancouver Canucks, the Avalanche, this franchise really went through a couple of tough years. I mean, it looked like there was no end to the misery. Brian Burke came in, got the ship righted a little bit, brought in Mark Crawford, and now the enthusiasm is back. That's all anybody want to talk about today. The playoff series against the Avalanche, starting here tonight for Game 3.
Now late on the power play, the puck down low for Messier. Pressured by Allen. Sopel is back, so the Canucks have killed it off. The Avalanche now 0 for 2 on the power play. Podine gets it. He was whipped down by Allen. And then he's pulled down by Allen. Podine's lost his stick. Now he gets it. Henrik Sedin pressured by Messier. And the puck up the middle. Clem is there to hold it in. The Avalanche should not get a shot on that last power play. And Drury on the ice. Now Foot in a 2-2 game. Fires it back in. And Jovanovski out of the corner. Up to bit by Drury, but gets it on the glass. Now at center ice. Daniel Sedin lost it. Tanguay trying to break in there, and it's onside. Here's Drury in front. Fires it out! Tanguay tipped it, and it's saved by Essenza. And maybe his best tonight.
Oh, I think the Canucks would have been a little upset, John. That looked to be offside. And then I think it almost looked like the Canucks sort of stopped for a second as the play went along. Now, Tanguay is in the zone.
Yeah, that was offside.
It was certainly close, and then all of a sudden, Drury's one of the best players I've seen. Forsberg's the same way, with somebody's stick on them, getting the play finished. You're going to watch the stick is going to be right to the arms of Drury, but he's able to get the puck on net. He must have great wrists. Chris Drury right there, who has tied this game. A couple of big goals, of course, the one with 67 seconds to go in Game 1 that gave the Avalanche the win, ties it up here tonight.
There's Sakic, Forsberg, and Nieminen up front for the Avalanche. 2:45 to play in the second period. Cook, Brashear, and Peterson for Vancouver. So Mark Crawford wants a checking line against this high-powered Avalanche line. Sakic trying to get it in. Sopel there for the Canucks. Goes rink wide to Oland. Now Brashear at his pocket, picked at center by Sakic. Forsberg darts in. Forsberg delays. Wanted to go to Blake. Now a shot got through, and a save by Essens, and then Nieminen cutting into the goal crease. He draws a big-time crowd.
Somebody's going off, John. Somebody is going off right here. Well, Rob Blake just pointed to the Vancouver Canucks. So they are going to take another penalty.
Well, they mauled Nieminen, Peter.
Oh, yeah.
He's been doing this all year.
Again, if we've talked about the history of Billy Nieminen, but you have got to give this kid credit for what he has done this season. Now, he could have got one there. I mean, it was just a matter of the referee saying, you know what, we're going to take somebody.
Yeah, he went after Sopel, and then they came after him.
Yep.
And it's Peterson who goes off.
But again, the chronology of the season 4. Billy Nieminen was training camp. did not come in good enough shape. He'll tell you that. He did not have a very good training camp. Went down. And the Avalanche went through a rash of injuries to their forwards. Forsberg, Deadmarsh, Drury, all on the line. They called up a bunch of people. He looked like he had established himself as the best of the young guys that were brought up, but was still sent back. Came back in the next time. Got a goal. It was kind of fun to watch. Great kid, but was sent back again. The third time that he came back. And that's been sent. Now that he was sent back, came up, sent back, came up, sent back. The third time he was brought up, he just exploded. And he has been a force and somebody that has helped the Avalanche enormously to the latter part of the season and early in the playoffs.
And scored 12 of his 14 goals on the road in the regular season. That's something. So the Avalanche get their third power play. 0 for 2 tonight. As Bork heads right up the middle. Pounds the puck deep. Forsberg trying to get there. Sakic does. And has the puck on his stick. Now for Forsberg. On the line to Bork. Here's Blake. They cover the points very tightly. Now Forsberg in the circle. To Sakic. The shot and a save by Essenza. Forsberg gets it again. As on the power play. Tejeda, quick shot. And a save. Sakic kept it in. Super Joe back to Blake. The drive and a save by Essenza on a rocket. And Blake kept it in. Here's Forsberg again. Now to Sakic. In front of Bork. Cutting through and he can't knock it down. What pressure by the Avalanche. Sakic back of the goal. Now Haydu comes in to support the puck. 50 to go on the power play. Canucks want to face off. Here's Bolin trying to clear, and he will. And both clubs make changes. Here's Blake. Essenza tees it up for Jovanovski. High along the boards, held in by Foot. Into the slot it comes and knocked away by Sopel and down the ice. In the final minute of the second period in a 2-2 game. This is Adam Foot. The give and go off the boards to himself. On goal. And Essenza knocked it away. Now Tanguay covers up. Alex Tanguay. Had a shot. Now with it. Trying to center. Nieminen comes up with it for the Avalanche. On the line to Skola. Fires it wide. And Peterson is back. And the Avalanche don't score. Now Foot takes Peterson down. And he'll get called. That's Kavanaugh after Foot, but
Foot took the initial one.
Yeah, Peterson is the one who was dragged down by Adam Foot. And he'll get 2.
Kavanaugh's going to be kicking himself. It's Foot alone right now, John, for what I can see. He's going slow foot. He kicked the feet out of Peterson. And that's going to be it. So Vancouver will start the third period, it looks like, on the power play.
The Avalanche had 4 shots on goal during that last power play. Their best power play of the night. And Foot gets the tripping minor. And 1957. So Vancouver will get a power play in a 2-2 game, and they'll get fresh ice to begin the third period.
Here's the play. Oh, interesting. The referee said he kicked the feet out from under him. In that situation, saw the left foot, off foot.
Boy, there have been some wild games in the NHL the last few days. How about last night in Edmonton? Oilers down by 2, scored 2 goals in the last 70 seconds, losing overtime. Tonight, Ottawa down in Toronto, down 2-0 in the series, losing 2-zip late. They scored 2 goals in the last 4 minutes, force overtime, and then they lose to the Leafs in overtime on a goal by Corey Cross, and Toronto leads that series 3-zip. There's some wild games around the NHL.
In the first 3 minutes, Ottawa had not scored a goal in the first two games and into the last 5 minutes of the third period. They get to, you think they're pumped up in the dressing room, ready to go, and just the air comes right out of their balloon when Cross scores.
Well, 3 seconds left. Sakic will try and get it back to Blake. The Avalanche are short-handed, but they are thinking offense here.
This is like one of those soccer setups on a penalty kick. Look at the lineup for the Canucks.
6 men in front. And Brashear trying to break out of the pack, and they should kick the center out of the circle, Peter.
Absolutely.
Because the winger broke into the circle, and they don't. I don't know why. Morrison should have been kicked out. Sakic gets it. Here's Prairie. A shot blocked, and that will do it. Another intense, hard-hitting second period of action. And 1 goal apiece.
Johnny, it is just fun to be here. These are tough to play. These are mean, vicious hockey games. But boy, are they fun to watch.
The shots on goal in the second, 17-11 for the Avalanche. But we are even after 40 minutes of play. It's the Avs 2 and the Canucks 2 here in Game 3.
Controversial gene research has led scientists to unlock the secrets of DNA. What they've discovered is something many of us have suspected all along. This is the mother of all trucks. Now get up to $2,000 cash allowance or low APR financing on Dodge Ram.
You know how they get like that? They get like that by eating the meat.
Whopper says carnivores prefer flame-broiled. In the land of burgers, the flame-broiled Whopper is king.
Night and day, the calls. Save me this, save me that. I'm a gecko, not Geico. So stop calling me.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So you want to change your name? People confusing you with Geico, calling you at all hours? What name would you like?
Komodo Dragon, please.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
No time to log on? With AT&T high-speed cable internet service, you're always connected, so there's no dialing up. And streaming videos download in seconds. Nothing moves you like AT&T at home. Go cable, go faster. Call for free basic installation and a free first month of service.
A beer is only as good as the ingredients used to brew it. That's why Budweiser uses only the finest all-natural ingredients, hand-selected to deliver a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you won't find in any other beer at any price.
This one's for you, and you, this one's for you.
Cross country. Presenting the full line of Chevy S10s. Others let you choose a color. We let you choose an identity. Chevy S10, like a rock.
Get 0.9 APR for 60 months on a 2001 S10 4-cylinder. That's over $3,500 in average finance savings. See your Chevy dealer for residency and other restrictions.
Game 3, all even at 2 after 2 periods. Marks down with Chris Drury outside the Avs dressing room. You got to tell me about the short side pass that Haydu came up for that tying goal. I think you play with him to expect that, but certainly Vancouver wasn't expecting it.
Oh, that was an unbelievable move. You know, he walked the D there. You know, like you said, we expect it. We see him do it every day, but I don't know if they do up here. You know, I think everyone thinks he's going around the net with the puck, throws it short side, and, you know, I had the whole open net.
What more can you say about Sakic's game? You ever come into the dressing room saying that you've hit 3 posts after just a couple periods?
Oh, that's pretty scary. He could shoot the puck pretty hard. And, you know, he's not getting the breaks right now. He's got 1. He could have about 4.
Yeah.
You know, hit a few last game too, but you know, we're tied up. We got a battle on our hands here for the 3rd period, but I think we'll be ready.
Hey, Chris, have the Avs done enough of the little things to win this game yet? It seems to just be going in waves for you, where you lose a little focus.
Yeah, we got to maintain our focus a little better. You know, it's been back and forth. The whole series has been that way. We'd like to get the lead here and keep it for the next 20. So.
Thanks, Chris. There's Chris Drury. He has tied this game up. It's 2-2 after a couple of periods. We'll come back to Vancouver.
Let's look at what makes the dome structure of great importance. You see, its circular design allows for maximum volume in a minimum space. So, an amazing number of people or things can actually fit in a relatively small area. With such an efficient design, it's a wonder domes aren't seen more often today.
Years before America's electric cooperatives forged the nationwide alliance, Touchstone Energy, neighbors built their own electric utility to power lives and communities. Now Touchstone Energy cooperatives serve millions of homes and businesses. Customers large and small get state-of-the-art technology and affordable service. From the one-room schoolhouse to the communities and businesses of tomorrow, trust Touchstone Energy, the power of human connections.
United Power, your Touchstone Energy partner.
Who are these guys? They're a team. The difference between finishing first or last. At Oppenheimer Funds, every member of our global team brings their own expertise. Working together, they've helped Oppenheimer Global Fund beat 96% of its competition over the past 5 years. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
And if you feel it in your toe, you won't stop. And if it's deep in your soul, then you can't stop. And you know what I know, then you won't stop from going where you going higher, baby.
Ford Focus. Comfy ride, comfy price at your Rocky Mountain Ford stores.
What? And welcome back to Vancouver. 2-2 after a couple of periods in this crucial Game 3 for the Canucks in this series against the Avs. Just spoke to Chris Drury. Chris Drury, of course, has tied this game up. Drury now with 23 playoff points in his short career. Here's your Chevy Stanley Cup playoff update. And we're looking at what's going on in the East now. Pittsburgh wins tonight at home over Washington. They lead that series. Buffalo had won 2 in Philly, but the Flyers come back with a road win. And Toronto's got the stranglehold after winning at home tonight. And the other game, Carolina, New Jersey, you probably saw New Jersey go up 2-0 yesterday in that series. They'll play again tomorrow night. In the West, St. Louis has a 5-2 lead over San Jose. Scott Young already has a goal and 2 assists. The former Av in that game, Pierre Turgeon, a goal and an assist. And Al McGinnis has 3 assists. And Edmonton and Dallas and LA and Detroit will go later in the week, Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. Mentioned Chris Drury, 23 points in his young career in the playoffs. That is more than Jeremy Roenick, Pavel Bure, and Mike Modano all had in their first couple of seasons in the NHL. Those are impressive numbers from Drury. Drury has a goal here. It's 2-2 after a couple of periods. We're coming back to GM Place in Vancouver.
want to go? I feel a little out of place. Yeah.
Make room at the table, boys, because women are getting things they need, like iron, zinc, protein, and some B vitamins from the food they love. Beef. It's what's for dinner tonight. Brought to you by the Colorado Beef Council.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. Been a while.
Hey, Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
Skill is a part of it. So is experience and strength. But when you get down to it, what really sets one competitor apart from another is talent. You either have it or you don't. In Barron's annual ranking of fund managers, Oppenheimer Funds has more portfolio managers in the top 50 than any other company. Talent. Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Dodge Ram has inspired considerable change in pickups. And it's been the inspiration for change among pickup owners as well. In just 4 years, more than 1 million households have switched to Dodge trucks. It seems when the owners of those other trucks get a good look at Ram, they begin to see things differently. Now get up to $2,000 cash allowance or low APR financing on Dodge Ram.
Back in Vancouver, this series has been tight in Game 3. No different, 2-2 after a couple of periods. Mark Stout here at GM Place down ringside. This is the 18th sellout of the season for the Canucks here. Last year, only 3 games were sold out, and Vancouver had the highest increase in attendance. And we'll see what this third period is going to be like here at GM Palace. It ought to be rocking. Let's go upstairs now to John Kelly and Peter McNabb for the third period.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. And Peter, as we said at the top of the telecast, this is like a 7th game for Vancouver. They can't fall behind 3-0, so this third period is like a 7th game.
And it's going to be a dynamite third period. You know that. But the first 2 periods have been absolutely everything you'd ever want to know about playoff hockey. There's been big hits. There's been scrums with guys getting involved. There's been some good plays, some great goaltending. The intensity is incredible. It is so much fun to watch this game. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's fun to be here. Hopefully you're enjoying it wherever you are tonight. It was 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. And Vancouver, for the second time tonight, took a 2-1 lead.
And the Canucks, when you watch this play, you see why Patrick Waugh was upset. He thought he had control of it, was pushed in behind. He was upset, argued with Magoo, but the goal stands, 2-1 lead Vancouver.
But the Avalanche tied the game on a great move by Hayduk to set up Drury.
As Bob Hartley shuffled his lines to get some offense. Drury, Hayduk, and Tanguay on the line, but Hayduk makes the goal. 3 Canuck players follow him down. Essenza follows him around and doesn't follow him back to the short side, and Drury puts it on the backhand.
And the Volvo numbers after 40 minutes of play.
I'm not sure the coaches are going to appreciate those numbers. Look at the scoring chances already in this hockey. 25 quality scoring chances in this game. It has been up and down for both teams.
And what a night for Joe Sakic. A goal in the first period. He's had 7 shots, and almost every time he's been on the ice, he's been electric.
He has been electric. He's hit the post 3 times with shots that have beat Essenza. And, you know, again, this is the guy for Vancouver that they're going to have to shut down. That's in the first period. I mean, that was a rocket. And here's the one in the second period. Again, just off the post. He had Essenza leaning the wrong way, but Essenza's played very well in tonight's game. Another solid effort for him in goal.
Well, Joe has 3 goals in the series. Could have 5 or 6 if it weren't for the goalpost. It is 2-2 as we get set for the third period.
At Stevenson, we offer our customers 24-hour roadside assistance, although technically it's only good on every new and used vehicle we sell.
You sure you bought this from us? Yeah. I've got a great deal on it used.
24-hour roadside assistance, another specialty service that makes Stevenson where to buy.
So, Joe, what kind of mileage do you get on this thing anyway? Hey,
Rapunzel, my cupcake. Did I love a boy?
Wait a moment, darling. I'll just let my hair down.
Oh, too short by a hair's breadth.
Then you'll just have to wait for my hair to grow.
What? I'd have gone bald by then.
Well, hair today, gone tomorrow.
All you need is a Red Bull.
Why? Because Red Bull gives you wings.
Yes, but it also stimulates the mind, so get downstairs and open the blooming door.
Zesty! Zesty! Zesty times 2.
The only thing zestier than eating a crunchy Taco Bell taco is eating 2 crunchy Taco Bell tacos.
Zesty party of 2. A tale of 2 zesties. Uno, dos, zesty!
There's nothing like doubling up on America's #1 taco. And right now, you can do it for just 99 cents. 2 crunchy tacos for 99 cents. Get them at the Bell.
Hello, Zesty. Call waiting. Hello? Zesty!
Sorry, Nippy. You'll give in before I do.
Have a bunch for my friend? Yeah, sure.
Guys, switch to Mach 3. 3 blades for the closest shave in a single stroke. You'll love the difference. And so will we. Mach 3. From Gillette.
Hockey is brought to you by your Greater Denver Ford dealers. First Bank, the Colorado bank for you. And by your Front Range Volkswagen dealers on the road of life. There are passengers and there are drivers. What a third period this should be. It is 2-2. As we get set for the third, the Avs lead the series 2-0.
For the Canucks, they will start off the third period. Minute and 57-second power play as Foote went in the box late in that second period. One thing about the ice here, John, it is not very good. Surprisingly, the humidity doesn't allow the ice to be great. So as this period goes along, it's going to get harder and harder to make those great plays. So this will be as good a chance as Vancouver is going to have.
Well, the Canucks had 17 sellouts this year, only 3 a year ago, so the fans in Vancouver really turned on by their team as they are back in the playoffs for the first time since '96. And on a power play, it's Drukin to angle one behind the Avalanche goal. Now Bertuzzi, pressured by Rob Blake, who has played more minutes than anyone tonight, close to 20 minutes, and it goes out of play. And a face-off in the Avalanche zone.
You know, so much was made about the trade for Rob Blake, and it was a huge trade. But now bringing Blake into the fold, John, when you look at the way that the Avalanche have put the focus on their hockey club, they have taken it away from the forwards a little bit, and now the defensive core for the Avalanche is their strength. And that's saying a lot when you got a Sakic, got a Forsberg, Hayduk, Drury, Tanguay, but it does become the strength of this hockey club with the group of 6 that they have.
And you still have a lot of firepower, plenty of firepower.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no question, Peter, that with this group of 6 defensemen, it's the best defense the Avalanche have ever had. And Mark Crawford admitted that before the series.
It's an unbelievable group, capable of winning those 1-0 and 2-1 games.
As Yell wins the face-off, Bork down low now. Blake comes over, had his pocket picked by Drukin. Sets it up, out high for Jovanovski, across to Oland, who had a power play goal in game 1. Morrison, Bertuzzi, and Drukin up front. As Blake gives Bertuzzi the rough ride in the corner. Raymond Bork spun around. Canucks have 3 men in the puck. It comes to Podine, and he chops it by Oland and down the ice.
Good work by Bork in the corner. There were 3 Canucks on him, and he chipped it around to Podine.
65 to go on the power play. Drukin In the slot to Oland. The shot blocked by Clem. Now Druken has it again. Back on the line, Jovanovski. Morrison, number 7. And a broken stick there. DeVries lost it. Loose puck in front. A pass to Oland, and he couldn't get a stick down. Now DeVries gets the stick from the forward, Milan Haydu. Back on the line, Jovanovski up drive, and that was blocked by Reinprecht. Here's Jovanovski again. Fires it right on goal, and no rebound. Wallen knew he needed a face-off, and he made a good save.
It is amazing. A broken stick. It doesn't seem like it would be that important, but it is huge. Now Hayduk, a right-handed shot with a pretty good toe hook in his blade, gave his stick to DeVries, a left-handed shot. So DeVries, if he never got the puck on his stick, would have been in a real bind trying to get that puck out of the zone. But it's better for the defenseman to have the stick so he can knock people down in front of the net, right there. That's the whole key to having that stick. You use it to knock people down.
Avs win another face-off. And a big one. 25 to go. In the foot minor is Daniel Sedin. He scored his first ever playoff goal tonight. Drake Berehowski picked up in a late season deal from Nashville, and this play is offside with a dozen seconds left in the Vancouver power play.
One of the things that a lot of people are talking about, John, is that trade deadline. Is it too close to the end of the season? Should they move it back a couple of weeks anyway? One GM made a very, very good point. He said that we get so much attention. We get so much attention from the trade deadline. It's hard to justify losing that kind of attention.
Twitter is due to return in 5 seconds. Now Owen for Henrik Sedin, working on DeVries. Well, the Avalanche have killed it off. Vancouver now 1-4 on the power play. As Tanguay works it up the middle. Nice move there. Tanguay in the clear. Can't get a shot. Great head fake move by Tanguay. And he was in the clear but never got a shot. And it's dumped back in offside. And a whistle.
Tanguay has that kind of ability, to beat a guy one-on-one. He's coming to the middle. Now Sakic is on the left side. And Olin right there takes a little swipe at the puck, gets caught leaning to his left, and Tanguay just dances through the middle. Sopel, a nice job. But this is the confidence that Tanguay has this year. There's no way in heck that he would have tried this last year in the playoffs. There is absolutely no way. He would have given it right away to Sakic, but right there he saw a chance, saw an opening, and set up a great scoring chance.
As he walked around Oland, the 24-year-old out of Sweden. Now it's Peterson, Brashear, and Cook against Forsberg, Nieminen, and Curry. Circle for Vancouver to Oland. Up the middle. Adam Foote is there to cut it off. Sokol trying to whack it in out of midair. Here's Oland again. So Bob Hartley back to his quote-unquote normal line combinations here in the third period.
And at least for right now, it looks like he may have altered the defensive pairings over for Blake and Bourque.
And that is just offside, or Forsberg would have been in on left wing. The Avalanche have been great in the third period all year in this series. They've outscored Vancouver 3-1. And of course have had the winning goal in the third in both games. And the only other playoff game going on as we speak, St. Louis leads at San Jose 5-3. How about that, Peter? 8 goals scored in the Shark Tank. That's a tough place to get goals.
After a series that started off very stingy, 3-1 and 1-0 the first two games.
Here's a dump in. Allen back for Vancouver. In his first playoff game, lost it. Podine comes up with it. His backhander, and that's knocked away. Now Steve Reinfrecht, he battles down low. It comes to Jason Strudwick, a defenseman up on the wing here, as Vancouver has 7 defensemen dressed. And the puck pushed along the near boards. Podine was there for the Avalanche to cut off the Strudwick clearing attempt. Now Pat Cavanaugh. And Berehowski up the wall. Ruutu lets it go. And as DeVries goes back, both clubs make changes on the move. Here comes DeVries to Yell. In a 2-2 game in Game 3. Around the boards. Heino missed it, and Drukin sprints to center ice. Into Klatt. Fires it on goal. And saved by Waugh. And a slap shot by Klatt. As try to clear, they do. And Olin at his line. Pressured. Heino comes up with it. But Olin recovers. Now Drukin. On to Klatt. There's the hit from Blake. And Klatt can't go much farther. Now stolen back on the goal. Here's Drukin. The Sokol hands on it. And Forsberg darts the other way. Forsberg checked from behind. Maintains control. What a pass to Foot. And he'll gun it in from center, but it goes over the boards. And we get a whistle. Well, Stanley Cup playoff fever is heating up, and the Pepsi Center Trading Company is the best place in town to get your official Avalanche playoff merchandise. The store hours, weekdays from 10 to 5, Saturdays 10 to 3.
And Rob Blake, who's played such a strong physical game. Now watch exactly what you're supposed to do as you take your man out. He comes across, rear end front of the man, just completely eliminates him. His partner Skula goes down, picks the puck out of the zone.
Blake had 5 hits alone in the first period. Turnover, Peterson gets it. And he overskates it for Scheer there for Vancouver. Worked along the boards. Murray Barron cannot hold it in. And he dishes it back to Jovanovski. Up front for the Avalanche, Sakic, Hayduk, and Tanguay. Greg DeVries gets it off the wall. Now picked up by Sakic. Into the Canuck zone, and Scheer back for Jovanovski. Sakic with another goal tonight. All the way back in his own zone.
By no means is the hitting slowing down, but they're being careful. Everybody is keeping their elbows down. If there's even a hit, the man is facing the boards. They're backing off. It's become a very cautious game that way.
Now Drury into Forsberg. Gonna cut around Bertuzzi. Forsberg gonna Keane. Nice Sokol and Bertuzzi, and the Canucks get it out. Henrik Sedin, nice pass to brother Daniel. What a pass! It's gone! Bertuzzi! And Vancouver has a 3-2 lead.
They will be superstars. I saw Bertuzzi going, John, and I said, no, the kid, there's no way the kid could see him. No way the kid could see him. As you watch, right on the right side of your screen, the puck is chipped out. Nice little play here. But he did not look, John. He did not look. He found it. That was an unbelievable play by Sedin. I have not seen him check once. Daniel Sedin. I did not see his head move to find Bertuzzi. That's one of those intuitive things that great players know. That's the kind of Forsberg type play that they thought they were going to get from these two kids.
Henrik to Daniel, no look in front of Bertuzzi. His second of the series at 5:32. And Vancouver for the third time with a 1-goal lead. Now Blake for the Avalanche. Bertuzzi from the Sedin Twins at 5:32. As Blake runs over the linesman. And the puck on the glass. DeVries kept it in. Now DeVries trying to work in. For Sakic, a shot. And that was blocked. Back in the goal. Sakic gets it. He's hooked down. The puck cleared up the wall. Hayduk was there to hold it in. And now Allen for Vancouver. Brian Allen to Rutu. Hit by Blake. And Sakic back for Skula. Cleared to center. Now Rutu again. Avs in the midst of a line change. As Morrison backhands it behind the Avalanche goal. Skula reverses things. Alex Tanguay there for the Avalanche, trying to get it off the wall. And it's picked up by Sakic. Center ice to Haydu. He works in on Barron. Fires it just wide of the net. Skula trying to hold in. He can't. Morrison counters. Here's Trent Klatt in front to Morrison. Chased to the corner by Sakic. Nice play by Sakic to get it off his stick. And the Avalanche put it down the ice. And again, both teams change.
John, something to remember. Hayduke just got buried by Barron. I mean, a really hard hit into the boards. He got up, but he was hurt.
Now Forsberg starts back to the Avalanche. Four Canucks are back to Drury in the slot. Here comes Drury. Can't get a shot, and the Canucks scoop it away. 12:25 to go in regulation time. The Avs down by 1. Here's Adam Foote. Nice pass to Heino. Trying to dart in. Foote comes back from the line. Fires it. And that was wide by a couple of feet. Waugh puts it around the boards to Forsberg. He gets away from a check now to Heino. Into open ice. Murray Barron. He puts it right back in. Shrugs off the hit from a Heino. And Heino puts it down the near side. Reinfrecht can't get there in time. And it squirts to center. Blake in for Podine. But Berehowski comes over. Henrik Sedin trying to fire it out. Here's Blake to pinch in. Blake, backhander, a save! What a save, now Blake again to DeVries. Fires it. Loose puck. Penalty coming up here on Vancouver as they touch it. And we get a whistle. That's Messier without the helmet. An interference call coming up. Bertuzzi has put Vancouver up by 1.
Okay, here's the game plan. First, we give them free check-us-out checking, and that includes
free checking for a year.
with no minimum balance and no monthly service charges. What else?
A Visa debit card with no annual fee.
For how long? For a whole year. Then we make it easy, right?
Right. We have over 90 First Bank locations.
Free access to all First Teller ATMs. 24-hour telephone banking. Internet banking.
Locally owned.
Sure doesn't taste this good in New York.
You up here on vacation?
No. Lunch.
Introducing the 260 horsepower Acura TL Type S.
Hi, I'm Drew Goodman. Are you tired of fighting the public for tee times? Do you need a place where the family can enjoy an afternoon on a championship golf course that you can show off to your guests? That's what you would desire in a private club, and I know just the place. Plum Creek Golf and Country Club, the Players Club in Castle Rock. And now is the time because there will be an initiation fee increase on May 1st. Give them a call, 303-688-2612 for private membership information. Plum Creek Golf and Country Club.
We talked about the hitting, and it's careful. It's vicious. You see the elbows are down. I mean, they took Forsberg in hard, but he made sure that he had him in a position he wasn't going to take a penalty. And then the other end, he just hustled. And Bertuzzi, a big, strong guy with the pass. John, it was the pass on that play that set it up. And then in front, Bertuzzi takes Messier down. That's not the penalty.
It was on Berehowski. You saw him in the slot, just a part of him. And he goes off for interference at 8:32. So the Avalanche with a power play, trying to tie the game. Here's Hayduke to the corner for Forsberg. In front. Sakic was in too tight. Now Forsberg has it again. Back near the line. Hayduke screens in the slot. Forsberg wants to go across to Blake. He does. And across for Burke. Here's a breakaway to Peterson. Short-handed, and Blake came back. And a diving play to knock it away.
Did he close the gap there in a hurry? It looked like he was gone.
The Avs on their fourth power play. Here's Blake. Rips it high. And on the glass. Forsberg can't get there, and the Canucks ice it. Wall off the boards. Now ahead for Sakic. Checked at center by Ruutu. Right back in it goes. 65 to go in the power play. The Avalanche down by a goal. This is Adam Foote. Now into the zone to Nieminen. Near side to Drury. Across. Here's Foote, a shot. Hit Peterson. Tanguay gets it for the Avalanche. Tanguay cycles one to Nieminen. Back to Foote to Nieminen. Looks for an opening. Back on the line to Skola for Foote. Lets it go. He scores! Adam Foote! And the Avalanche have tied the game. Adam Foote has not scored a playoff goal since April of '99. And he may have just tied the game unless it was tipped.
Good passing, good control of the puck. Blake comes back. Now watch Blake on the left side of your screen. And he is just coming in such a hurry. But then the Avalanche on their second power play group. Nieminen to Skula, one touch. I don't think that touched anything except maybe Billy Nieminen.
And Drury was there as well, but it's hard to say, Peter.
But two great passes, one by Nieminen through the seam, and then by Skula. Never touched it, just one time to the cross.
And it's 3-3. The goal at 9:52. And Foote with it. His last playoff goal, April 30th of '99. So the Avalanche get a big power play goal, and for the third time tonight, they have fought back to tie the game. Foote gets it at 9:52. What a game. Skula and Nieminen with the assists.
And we got a penalty. It'll be Foote.
Well, he gets the big goal, and now the call on Foote.
Murphy's Gourmet Chicken Garlic Combo. Over 16 inches of great pizza taste for just $8.99. The gourmet taste starts with our crust that's made fresh every day. Then we top it with creamy garlic sauce, a full pound of freshly grated cheese, loads of grilled chicken, Roma tomatoes, and green onions. It weighs over 3.5 pounds. Papa Murphy's Gourmet Chicken Garlic Combo. Right now, just $8.99. Whoa.
Papa Murphy's Take and Bake.
Big pizza, big taste.
Okay, team, the time is here for Lakewood Fordland's 39th anniversary celebration sale. Our biggest sale ever. We've trained hard for this all year. I need a volunteer to open the doors.
Not me, Coach. I opened last year.
I opened the year before.
Put me in, Coach. I'll do it.
2001 Ranger or Focus, $189 a month. Financing as low as 0% up to 36 months. Matching down payment on pre-owned vehicles up to $4,000 total. Only at Lakewood Fordland, 11,000 West Colfax, just west of Kipling.
It is 3-3. Foote's gone for interference at 10:06 after he tied the game with a power play from Skula and Nieminen. Vancouver 1 of 5 on the power play. And 3 of 11 in the series. And the 17,000 plus on their feet, just witnessing a classic playoff battle. Avs get the face-off, putting up the boards. Jovanovski kept it in. And the puck loose to Bertuzzi on the line. Morrison to Jovanovski. Here's Morrison again. Fires it wide. And around it goes to Jovanovski, but Yell came over and had it bounce off his stick to center. And the Canucks regroup. Drukin in for Oland. Cross corner dumping. Hayduk whips it around the near side. And a great job by Hayduk to get it out. 35 gone on the power play. Now Oland for Jovanovski. Into Bertuzzi. Blake was there. So was Hayduk, and he wraps it off the glass and down the ice. Well, the Avs get some fresh penalty killers on the ice. Harold Drukin. Right wing to Henrik Sedin. Stops on a dime. Now DeVries chases him. And DeVries a good job to clear it up the gut. And out of trouble. 50 seconds left in the minor to foot. Sackett's out there with Messier. Now the Canucks are in. Daniel Sedin. Pass in front. Behind Klatt. Now gathered in by Henrik Sedin in front. Sopel gets it. Has some room. Lets it go. And Klatt just missed on a tip in. And around the boards it goes. Not out. Henrik Sedin in a corner. Settles things to brother Daniel. Out high to Sopel. Back to Daniel Sedin. Now for Henrik. Klatt's parked in front. Gets it. Saved by Waugh. And he covers up. Oh, what a chance there for Klatt.
Good passing by the Sedin brothers. They, of course, have played together forever. They have played with Bertuzzi almost exclusively in this playoff series, but they played with Klatt a lot during the regular season. Klatt's one of those experienced guys, playing with two young rookies with such enormous talent. Did a great job of just settling them down in defensive situations. But John, you're really seeing the emergence of a couple of real good young players, the Sedin brothers. Nice save by Patrick. Good concentration, good positioning.
They were drafted a couple of years ago, but general manager Brian Burke let them stay in Sweden for another year. A wise move. And Peter, you're right. For first-year NHL players, they have looked very, very strong.
It's the same thing that happened to Peter Forsberg. He stayed over in Europe the year after he was drafted.
Big face-off won by the Avs. The shot's 30-22. And this is offside. 6 seconds left in the foot minor.
But in the first 12 minutes, John, you look at the shots, it's 4-2 for Vancouver. As things have, after a wild second period, 28 shots on goal in the second period. We've only had 6 so far after 12 minutes of play here in the third.
And I would think Mark Crawford, looking at that shot total, he wouldn't like that. He knows he can't give 17 shots in a period of the Avalanche. Six seconds left in the foot penalty. Sopel walks it in. And is bumped by Bork. Now Blake, foot is back. So the Avalanche have killed it off. Vancouver now on the power play. 1 for 5, and they had only one shot on that last advantage. It is 3-3. Down on the wire we go. 7:35 left in regulation time. Now Oland at center for Brashear. He's spun around and upended by Nieminen. Where's the puck? It's under Brashear. And now he blows it dead, does Magoo, the referee, as Brashear covered it in the offensive zone, so the faceoff will come to center.
Well, Billy Nieminen not picking his spots here. As he fights for the puck with Brashear and actually knocks him over. Brashear is a big guy. Big man. Batting away at his helmet.
No, Billy doesn't pick his spots.
No, he really doesn't. He's been very good, and he's earned the teammates' respect. But, you know, if you're going to do it to a certain group and not to another group that's a little tougher and a little bigger, a little meaner, guys know it right away.
Here's Hayduk, a pass into Sakic with Tanguay. Sakic lets a rocket go, and that goes off a stick and out of play. He is just shooting BBs right now.
Sakic, we've all seen so often, Jovanovski did a nice job because he got trapped in a very tough spot. Sakic has done it so often this season, coming down those right boards, faking that shot, taking one more step to the inside, and then unloading.
And a face-off deep in the Canuck zone. Sakic against Morrison. And the youngster Morrison wins the face-off. DeVries trying to keep it in. DeVries has played a strong game for the Avalanche. Now Murray Barron. Up the boards for Drukin, off a skate, right 2 foot. And DeVries trying to find an open man. Now Trent Platt scoops it in from center. And Waugh, the right wing, feed for Tanguay. Now it's Tanguay trying to find an open man. As the Canucks clog the neutral zone. Tanguay a head fake, and he lost a handle. Daniel Sedin walks in against DeVries. And the puck in the skates in that corner. DeVries is bowled over from behind by Bertuzzi. But Messier gets it out. So Hartley wants this Reinprecht checking line against the Sedin brothers. Bodine to the corner. Now Berehowski hit by Messier. And it squirts across for Brian Allen. Up the gut for Daniel Sedin. And pressured from behind, and Bodine took him down, no call. And the Avs counter. Here comes Ray Bourque. Left it to Messier, and that was tipped. And it goes way high into the crowd. And the fans are mad. They felt Bodine tackled Sedin.
These aren't the kind of plays that are going to draw penalties this late in a hockey game.
It's springtime in the Rockies, and that means sale time at Pepsi Center Trading Company. Select Denver Nuggets and Colorado Avalanche items are on sale now. Some at discounts of up to 50% off. All Nuggets jerseys are on sale for 30% off. And now's the time to check out great Colorado Avalanche playoff gear. Pepsi Center Trading Company's spring sale is for a limited time only, and supplies are going fast.
After over 10 years, we still have a no-hassle, no-haggle pricing policy at Saturn. We don't yell offers from the highest tree. We don't play games. And we don't have promotions every other week. But that doesn't mean we don't compete.
Lease a 2001 Saturn L200 for $249 a month for 39 months with zero due at lease signing. Call for lease details.
You will watch my movie madness. One step beyond! When I snap my fingers, you will wake up and watch my movie madness all month long on UPN 20.
Let's look at what's on tap, brought to you by Bud Light. Game 4 Wednesday. We're on the air 8 o'clock on UPN 20. Game 5, if necessary, back home on Saturday. 5:54 left. 3-3 the score. Drury gets the face-off now for Forsberg. The Avs have never led. In front of Blake. And that hit Drury. Drury a shot on his knees. How do you get a shot through? He never gives up. And the Canucks get it up the middle for Matt Cook. Into Sopel, but Forsberg got back to break it up. Good back checking there by Forsberg. And John Clem going in behind his own net. Platt, Daniel Sedin, and Bertuzzi for Vancouver. Sakic, Drury, and Foot for the Avalanche. As the fans yell, go, Canucks, go. This is John Clem, BC native. Rips it in. Hayduk doing some forechecking. Can't find it. And Bashir taps it back to center ice. Here's DeVries ahead for Hayduk. To Sakic right up the middle. Let's it go! And it was blocked. It never got through. Now Trent Platt had it knocked away by Foot. Jovanovski carries in there. Platt to the corner. And Hayduk knocked it away from him. Tanguay gets it out. And DeVries for the Avalanche. Trying to hit Tanguay. Too far. Essens has to play it. No icing. Now Platt nearly stripped away by Tanguay. 4.5 to go in regulation time. Murray Barron. He dumps it in. And wide of the goal. And Raymond Bourque is there to pick it up. And Bourque right up the middle. Great pass to Reinprecht. He's hooked a bit, slowed down by Daniel Sedin. Cody trying to get there. Big hit on Allen. But Allen keeps his composure. Daniel Sedin on to center. Here comes Berehowski. Gets by Bourque. And a weak shot blocked. Blake sends it around the boards. Allen on the line. To Daniel Sedin, the brother. Henrik. And he backhands it wide of the goal. And then Bourque chips it out of play. And then Bourque and Bertuzzi get the sticks up. Time to check tonight's Gatorade game summary. Hayduk with a pair of assists. Bertuzzi 2 points. And the big goal by Foot in the third period at 9:52 to tie the game.
It must be incredible for these players to try to keep their composure when things like this are going on. There is stuff going on all over the ice. Guys are getting hacked and whacked. You're trying not to make that mistake to take a penalty, but you're trying to play physical, be aggressive all the time. That fine line, you always seem to be right on it.
Well, the Avalanche found some late game magic in games 1 and 2. Can they do it again? Somebody will be the hero tonight. Here's John Clown. Forsberg to the corner. Brashear comes up with it. Drury cuts him off. Now Nieminen comes in. But Brashear sprints out of the pack and bangs it off the boards. John Clem chased by Peterson. Forsberg behind his own goal for Adam Foote. Up on the wing to Nieminen. Right wing to Forsberg. Forsberg trying to cut in. He does. Can't get a shot. Penalty call. As Olin pulls down his buddy Forsberg. And the Avalanche with 3:04 to go will get a power play.
The Canucks were guilty of one thing. They got a little too aggressive on trying to play the body, and suddenly a pass across ice to Forsberg, and he got open. Just a stride, but he was open. You saw the right hand of Ullin come out and grab Forsberg. And the referee, he's the one just in the corner right there and makes the call.
Now holding minor at 16:56. And the Avalanche scored on their last power play to tie the game. Forsberg got a pretty good welt under the right eye.
Oh, as they say, that's nothing. You know, that's, I mean, the stuff that these guys go through, the ice bags that the trainers will use between now and the end of this series, never mind as the playoffs go along. It's just unbelievable.
Well, the fans, upset with that last call, have littered the ice. So we will have a slight delay. Well, who will get the winner? This guy lives for the big goal. Chris Drury. Last year in Detroit in overtime. 2 years ago against Dallas. That tied the series at 2, and the game winner in game 1. 7 game-winning goals for Drury in 38 playoff games.
These are the leaders in franchise, not just Avalanche history, franchise history. Kamensky, Lemieux, Hunter with 5. Joey Sakic with 10, 6 coming in that one playoff year when they won the Cup in '96. Delay like this, John, I think, has to favor the Avalanche. Just enough for there, because they have the skill guys. They get that extra little minute and a half, 2 minutes to just catch their breath. The ice is not good, but they're rested and they're ready for this power play.
Yeah, because Forsberg was on the ice.
The guy,
he was pulled down, so he gets a good 2-minute rest.
He wouldn't have been able to start the power play. There's no way he had been on for too long a shift.
Forsberg, Sakic, Hayduk up front, Blake and Bourque the point men, the Avalanche. 1 of 4 on the power play. Sakic gets it back, but it's chipped away to center by Peterson. Here's Bourque to rip it right back in. Sakic leaves it in the corner for Hayduk. That's set up on the power play. Morrison try to steal it, and they do, and it's shot down the ice by Sopel. Here comes Bourque. And again, the Avalanche dump it in there. Sopel rips it ahead. Blake kept it in. Blake, a drive, and a save by Essence on the rebound up in the air and cleared down the ice. 40 going to the power play. The Avs change up their power play up front. Drury, Neiman, and Tanguay. Here comes Blake. Tanguay and Jovanovski race after it. Now back of the goal, Neiman into Drury. Slows it down, backs onto the point. Blake, and he tried to make a play, and Peterson broke it up. And Brendan Morrison kills some time at center. Shoots it in. Under a minute left on the Avs power play. Under 2 to go in regulation time. Here's Blake again for the Avs. Tipped ahead, Tanguay up the middle, and he can't handle it. And then he runs into the goaltender, Essenza, who argues with Magoo.
Blake, who has, as we've seen, that cannon. If John, the puck bounces in the air. Now watch Hayduk with his stick. He tries to knock it down right here. And that would have been, because you know how good he is at doing that. But where was his stick? That would have been one of those ones where it would have been such a tough call. Because if he does knock it down, the net is wide open.
And if you're not familiar with the rule, the stick cannot be above the crossbar. The old rule was it can't be above your shoulder, but now it's the measuring stick is the crossbar. A timeout has been called, I believe, by Bob Hartley. With 41 to go in the power play, he knows that a goal here would almost win it, so he wants his top power play back out.
The Avalanche going over some strategy right there with that #1 unit. For Vancouver and for the Avalanche, you have to think Avalanche get this goal, the series is over. Vancouver, this is their time to get back in the series. They need a goal. They need to stop this power play, get this game into overtime, and then try to, get that big goal.
Sakic, Forsberg, Hayduk, Bourque, and Blake. Morrison against Sakic on the draw. Here we go. Sakic gets it to Bourque. Doesn't shoot it, now to Blake. Lets it go. Blocked in front by Sopel, and he hammers it down the ice.
That's where the bad ice hurt. That puck should have been sliding to Sakic real easily. It just stopped.
Now Bourque for Forsberg. With Sopel, they go shoulder to shoulder. And the puck to the corner to Hayduk. 20 left in the power play. Down low to Forsberg. In front of the net. Now Blake with it for the Avalanche. No shooting lane there. Raymond Bourque, and his pass across, and it comes to center. And the Avalanche have to clear that zone. And a whistle, 2 seconds left in the power play. So the Avalanche miss a great chance to take the lead.
And since game 1, the last 2 games, obviously, penalty killing for the Vancouver Canucks much more aggressive and very much more effective.
The Avalanche 1 of 10 in the power play in the last 2 games, including tonight, after going 3 for 5 in game 1.
And it was not the #1 group that scored the goal in the power play. It was Adam Foote from Skula and Nieminen.
So 66 seconds left in the third period. 2 seconds left in the Olin minor. The Avalanche with one shot on this power play. And it comes back to center. Adam Foote drops it in behind the Canuck net. Olin is back. The Avs now 1 for 5 in the power play in the game. As Jovanovski gets it off the glass into the Avalanche end. John Clem, the first man back. Now Foote puts it high to the Canuck blue line. Murray fell down and Bertuzzi with it. Long shot, and that was well wide of the goal. Podine taps it onto center ice. Now Olin across for Jovanovski. Bertuzzi for Henrik Sedin. Drury a good job to check his man. Now Drury trying to find an open man. It comes back to Raymond Bourque. Out to center for Foote. Sakic is on the ice. Foote launches it in. Around it goes. Hayduk is there. Now for Forsberg to Bourque. In front, a shot. And that was wide, and we will go to overtime in Vancouver.
The Avalanche have played now. This is their 15th series that they have been in since moving to Colorado. For the 13th time in a series, there's been at least one overtime game.
This one is tied 3-3 after regulation.
Together with Conoco, you can help protect and preserve our homeland and America's icon, Yellowstone National Park's Old Faithful. Make your donation to the Yellowstone Park Foundation. Call 406-586-6303.
Okay, here's the game plan. First, we give them free Check Us Out checking, and that includes
Free checking for a year.
With no minimum balance and no monthly service charges.
what else?
A Visa debit card with no annual fee.
For how long?
For a whole year.
Then we make it easy, right?
Right. We have over 90 First Bank locations.
Free access to all First Teller ATMs. 24-hour telephone banking. Internet banking.
We're locally owned.
Let's fish.
Let's do it.
The Lexus RX 300. Unlike other sport utility vehicles, it's the first luxury SUV that doesn't ride like a truck.
We're out of here. Yeah. What?
The RX 300 at Stevenson Lexus and Cooney Lexus.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. It's been a while.
Hey, Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
At Stevenson, we offer our customers 24-hour roadside assistance, although technically it's only good on every new and used vehicle we sell.
You sure you bought this from us? Yeah. I've got a great deal on it used.
24-hour roadside assistance, another specialty service that makes Stevenson where to buy.
So, Joe, what kind of mileage do you get on this thing anyway?
And welcome back to Vancouver here at GM Place. Overtime. Colorado and Vancouver tied at 3. Joining me outside the Avs dressing room is Chris Dingman. The series has been this way, man. It's been tight all the way through. Nothing different tonight, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've played a strong game. They played a strong game, and there's been a lot of big hits. It's been a real physical game. It's been a fun game to watch. I think we've had some really good chances, and I think Cosenza's made some really good saves to keep them in. And I
think Blake's had a couple good slappers there. Then he made some real big saves.
Rob Blake's played a heck of a game tonight. I know some of the Avalanche fans didn't really get to see him at the end of the season, but this has been one of his top games.
Yeah, I think, coming back from the knee injury, I think at first it took him a few games to get back into it, but I think that hit on Kavanaugh, I think it was in the first period, that was a top-notch hit, and he's had a couple good shots, so I think he's playing a solid game.
All right, so Chris, how cautious do the Avalanche play this overtime period? It's a whole different story in the playoffs.
Well, I think you got to be careful. I think you want to play cautious, but at the same token, you don't want to sit back. I think we want to go at them. We want to keep shooting pucks and put the pressure on them. I think we got a lot of experience on our team, and I think, they're pretty inexperienced on that side. So I think we want to go right at them and, put some pucks in the net, and there's going to be some rebounds and just crash the net.
If there's any justice tonight, you know that Sakic's going to score. I mean, the guy's hit the post. He's been firing them over, a sense his head, everything.
Oh, Saks has been unbelievable. I mean, he's got probably the best snapshot I've ever seen. And, I mean, he's hit the post, I think, 2 or 3 times tonight, and he's had a couple good shots. And he had the one go off the glove, too. So I think if there's a guy to pick to score, I think it's going to be Saks.
Is that your lucky necklace, maybe, that will do the trick here?
Yeah, I should maybe rub it for good luck.
Something like that, man. Thanks, Chris. There's Chris Dingman outside the Avs dressing room. Overtime coming up 3-3 after regulation.
Ford Focus. Anti-lock brakes, anti-lock price. At your Rocky Mountain Ford stores.
Hey, where's Matt?
Big green combine, headsy at the wheel. Under a big sky, working in the field. From the brewery crew to the lager and man. Get it to you fast and fresh as they can. This is from the people working hard every day. Talking about the folks who get this buzz my way. This buzz for you. And you and you and you. This buzz for you.
Hey, you. Yeah, I miss you too. It's been a while.
Hey, Mom. No, I'll be home soon.
Verizon Wireless. Our network covers more towns, more cities, and more places than anybody else's in the country. So you know that just about anywhere your business takes you, you'll stay connected to your biggest fans. Verizon Wireless. Simple, affordable, national. Join in.
Hey, check it out. A totally twisted way to eat pizza. Yeah, new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. It's breadsticks. No, it's pizza. It's both. Look, go directly to the Twisted Crust and tear off a breadstick. Dude, what planet are you from? You eat your pizza first and you save your breadsticks till the end. No, it's breadsticks first, then the free marinara or ranch dipping sauce, then pizza. You're twisted. Pizza first. The new Twisted Crust Pizza from Pizza Hut. Breadsticks and pizza together at last. I got one word for you. Breadsticks. That's 2 words, Brainiac. Another one of the best pizzas under one roof.
Your perfect automobile. Imagine it. The seats cool you when you're hot and warm you when you're cold. The air you breathe is possibly the purest anywhere. The sounds you hear are some of the finest in the world. The all-new Lexus LS 430. You don't have to imagine anymore. See CUNY Lexus and Stevenson Lexus now.
And we're back at GM Place in Vancouver, getting set for overtime between the Avalanche and the Canucks in this Game 3 of this first round series. Mark's out outside the Avalanche dressing room. 16 games in overtime for the Avalanche heading into this one in the playoffs. Their record, 11-5, an impressive record. Now, we'll see how the Avalanche can do here in Vancouver. I'd mentioned this before the game. The Avs making their 4th trip to Vancouver this season. 1-2 coming into this game. They had lost the previous 2. One was at the beginning of November. Fans remember the Deadmarsh-Jovanovski fight in that game. That game got kind of out of hand. And then the other game was right before the All-Star break. I think maybe some of the Avs kind of had a little hangover there getting ready for the All-Star break, and they lost that game. In fact, Bob Essensa had a win in that game for Vancouver. You might have heard Chris Dingman say that everybody's been impressed with Essensa, and the fans love him. They're holding up signs that say Bob E. and just chanting his name left and right, and we'll see if he can do the job against Patrick Waugh. Waugh has been in this situation before. Overtime when we come back. It's 3-3 here at GM Place in Vancouver.
How do you feel about this trade?
Well, obviously I'm disappointed. You know, I was expecting a good 2-3 years of solid performance. And now, after just 1 month, this is what happened. Really puts a damper on the rest of the season.
Hey, Coach, should have gone to the new Lakewood Fordland, where every pre-owned vehicle comes with their 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty on cars, trucks, minivans, you name it. Lakewood Fordland's 6-month warranty. It's the only game in town.
Guys, we should have let the Wings keep him.
When it comes to taking care of the big or the little things in life, at Conoco, you're good to go.
At Geico, we're always looking for faster ways to process your car insurance claims. One idea, airlifting claims adjusters right to the site of the accident. We're over the target. I don't see the car. It's that little black dot. They're all little black dots. And look. Oh, your laptop.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's not where you come from. It's where you're going. It's not what you drive. It's what drives you. It's not what's on you. It's what's in you. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Got a little SUV and a big load? Good luck. But Dodge Durango is different. With 2 big beefy Magnum V8s to choose from, you can pull up to 7,550 pounds, which puts Durango ahead and your boat behind you. Durango. Different. And just right. Now get a $2,000 cash allowance or low 0.9 financing on Durango.
Since coming to Colorado, the Avalanche have played 14 playoff series. This is the 15th. 12 of the previous 14 have had at least one overtime game. And that stays tonight as we get into the 15th series and another overtime game about to start. Drury, Sakic, and Foote have the goals tonight. We'll see if there can be a hero coming up here in overtime. Let's get it back up to John Kelly and Peter McNabb now.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. 1 goal apiece for each club in each of the first 3 periods, but we know one thing, there's only going to be 1 more goal scored tonight.
And for the Avalanche, they fought back on a late power play goal by Foote. As this has been a game of the Avalanche have kept coming back to get themselves tied, and another terrific hockey game. But for Tuesday, this is a great playoff goal. Good punishing checks down low. Puck along the boards, it's chipped on the board, and then a beautiful pass from Sundin as he just turns. Sundin across to Bertuzzi. That's as nice a goal in the playoffs as you're going to see. And then on the power play, the second unit comes through big. Nieminen across to Skula, one time across the foot, who beats Asenza and ties this at 3 as we head into overtime.
Overtime is next. Canucks and Avalanche in Game 3.
Cross country.
Careful. It's easy to get distracted. Introducing the new Post-News Classified section. The largest marketplace in Colorado. Now appearing every day in the Denver Post and Rocky Mountain News. Merchandise $29.99. We'll sell it in 10 and we'll run it another 10. Call 303-825-2525.
Zesty! Zesty! Zesty times 2.
The only thing zestier than eating a crunchy Taco Bell taco is eating 2 crunchy Taco Bell tacos.
Zesty party of 2. A tale of 2 zesties. Uno, dos, zesty.
There's nothing like doubling up on America's #1 taco. And right now, you can do it for just 99 cents. 2 crunchy tacos for 99 cents. Get them at the Bell.
Hello, Zesty. Call waiting. Hello? Zesty!
You have reached a Gecko. You probably wanted Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. Don't be embarrassed. Happens all the time. Have a nice day.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At least you'll feel smart when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
We are back in Vancouver at GM Place, and more hockey needed to decide this one. It is 3-3 as we get set for overtime. And the numbers after 60 minutes of play, 19 scoring chances for the Avalanche. That is a pretty good number.
Well, you look at how the second and third period just flipped as far as, you know, the way they were played. 28 shots on goal in the second period. 8 shots on goal combined in the third period, as it just got very tight, very conservative. No flow, nothing through the middle, everything along the boards.
Waugh has a career playoff overtime record of 34-10. He's won 6 of his last 7. Sakic, if you're looking for a hero, has scored 3 playoff overtime goals, as has Milan Hajduk.
I really don't know how Hajduk has made it through this game. He has been hit a couple of times when I thought that's it. He's been crushed so far in this series. It just keeps coming back.
So here we go. First goal will end it. Sakic, Hajduk, and Tanguay. Sakic gets the face-off. He's had 7 shots tonight. Now to Hajduk in the corner. Morrison has Sakic wrapped up. Now Hajduk to Tanguay. He was open cutting, but it never got there.
What a nice play by Jovanovski, as it looked like they had him open.
Now Hajduk drops it back to the Canuck corner. Jovanovski around for Barron. And to center for Trent Klatt. Now in for Morrison. Of course, Morrison scored a big-time overtime goal back in '96 for Michigan against Colorado College. Greg DeVries down the wall. Fires it. Big rebound in front. And Essenza hangs on. And no further action.
We take you back to '96, Game 5 in Colorado. The Avalanche in trouble in this hockey game. But Joey Sakic bails them out. Down late by a goal, he ties it up, and then in overtime, he wins it as the Avalanche went on to win Game 5 in overtime and Game 6. And complete a 4-2 victory in that series.
Now the Canucks with Brashear. Finds Sokol through the neutral zone. And a giveaway there by Waugh. Cook gets it back to the goal. Now Sokol on the line. Lets it go. And Waugh got his pad down and made the save. Niemanen trying to clear it. And Chris Drury will. Forsberg surrounded by 3 Canucks. And knocked down. Brashear a shot. That's over the net. And his foot gets it. And Forsberg, who is hit every time he gets the puck, gets it out. Now Henrik Sedin shoots it in. Foot takes down the man in front. That is Daniel Sedin, no call. And Podine starts back to center. And around the glass she goes. goes in out of play. And the face-off will come back to center. Well, Steve Reinprecht, we mentioned he missed some time in game 1. He could not keep anything down from the time he got the flu on Tuesday of last week until Friday night. So he was very sick for 3 straight days.
And the thing about these athletes nowadays, they're so foreign. I mean, that means you're losing weight, you're losing strength, you're losing muscle. You know, if I get sick for 3 or 4 days and can't eat, can't anything down, it's good for me. You know, I can lose about 10 pounds, no problem.
Well, he has big 3 in defense of all log marathon minutes. Blake over 30 minutes. Foot 23 and Bork 25 minutes after regulation time. Allen for Vancouver. Now for Bertuzzi. Into Henrik Sedin. For Daniel, penalty called against the Avalanche.
Bertuzzi just squashed Messier's head. It's getting to that point where it's vicious now.
And I think they got it, Peter.
Yeah, they did.
The original call was against the Avalanche, and Fawcett just pointed to Bertuzzi, and you can see the result, so they hit.
Yeah, and Bertuzzi, that is one of those ones. He pushed his head on the ice. He can complain all he wants, but he did it, and it's one of the ones that you know you did it. There's Messier's face right there. The things you just, John, the things that emotion just takes over. Messier was sitting there. Now, there was no question. There was no question the Avalanche deserved a penalty. They were running around a little bit. Reinprecht, who I think takes the penalty, he gets it right there. Sedin was ready to go and jump into the play. Now, you're going to watch 29 Messier. Watch him all the way through. You're going to watch what Bertuzzi does. Play is over. Now he's down. Now watch Bertuzzi. Bang. He just comes through and just labels him.
Well, you can say it's emotion. It is, but that's a bad penalty for him to take.
When I say it's emotion, it's because it's something that you're mad and you want to do a little something there. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. Absolutely. That's emotion run amok.
You're getting the power play in overtime.
And he knew it because he had heard the whistle, he'd seen the play. And
well, Bertuzzi gets the rough. Reinprecht interference.
And
so
the
4-on-4.
And the Avalanche get the break.
That's a huge break.
That is. Because you don't get... Referees hate calling penalties in overtime. They want to let the players settle it, but they have to call certain things when you take away a scoring chance. Sedin had what looked like a scoring chance. Good call by the referee. Excellent call on the referee also on Bertuzzi because you're trying to smoke somebody. I mean, there's Messier's face.
So 4-on-4. We have not had a goal scored 4-on-4 in this series. Ray Bork from center, Bertuzzi, or rather Esselstyn makes the pad save. And Jovanovski with the rebound ahead to Morrison. Check from behind by Sakic. And it comes to center. He's up front with Haydu. Morrison and Klatt, the forwards here for Vancouver. Now Haydu. He works in on Jovanovski. Trying to delay a bit. And turns it over, and Morrison back. He lost the puck in Forsberg. Into the Canucks zone. What a move there. In front for the game winner. He scores! Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peter Forsberg wins the game in overtime. And the Avalanche take a 3-0 lead in the series.
And Todd Bertuzzi is the GOAT. We got a hero and a GOAT in that play. There's just no getting around it.
At 2:50 of overtime, Forsberg might make A very miserable offseason for that guy Bertuzzi.
Well, the Avalanche, what an effort. I mean, you can say what you want. They found a way to win again. Down 3 times in this hockey game. And the Avalanche kept coming back, and Forsberg gets the winner. Sakic had just gone off the ice. Look at the strength of Forsberg. And then Barron, I mean, there was 4 of them back there, and Forsberg just hung with that puck. The Avalanche, again, you look at the goal scorers in this series that have gotten the game-winning goal. Drury, game breaker. Hayduk, a game breaker. Forsberg, a game breaker. Right now, that stands to be the difference in this series, as these 2 teams have just gone at it, shift after shift, but the Avalanche have found that one extra play in each game. How excited were these guys to see Peter Forsberg have the puck on a breakaway, or a semi-break?
He had a couple of big overtime goals this year. His biggest, of course, came in Washington when Patrick got the record with career win number 448. The fans were very upset after the game, not necessarily with the loss, but the call on Bertuzzi. But Peter, we had a clear replay. It was a bad penalty to take, and it probably will cost them the series. The Avalanche win in overtime on a Forsberg goal unassisted at 2:50.